What's up, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Black Kickback. It's your girl, Brittany.
It's your girl, Kayla.
It's your boy Dark Skin Jermaine.
It's Dave on aka B-Mo City Bang on them.
All right, so first we're going to kick it off with our drink of the day, and I'm going to shoot it over to Brittany.
Good Girl Libations has brought you today something peachy. What did you say you was gonna call it, Davon?
Shit, I don't
Peachy
know.
delight. He said a peachy delight. It's very peachy. We got some peach cognac, some peach wine, and some peach juice, and some peach soda. Very peachy.
That was rough.
The drink good.
We're gonna let her have it though.
But no, nothing wrong with it. Don't pay him no
The
mind.
drink good.
Very
His-
peachy,
his
sound
cup
white as hell.
almost empty.
The
His
drink
cup
good as
almost
shit.
empty. He got more. Shut up. Shut up. I heard
Dude,
what
we
you said.
That was white as hell. It's very peachy. I don't know what's going on.
I'm black and don't know how to be anything else but black. But that one right there, with the freckles, love to call somebody white.
Lord.
Come
All
on.
right, now we're going to throw it
Nobody
over
knows. Nobody knows.
to the word of the day. The word of the day is vernacularize. And vernacularize means to express or adapt something into the language or style of the everyday person.
And the first person
Y'all might as well
used,
give me my drink now. I ain't gonna use it.
Hell.
and the first person used the word after 15 minutes that went by. The other people gotta take a shot, but the person that used the word gotta use the word correctly.
If they don't, then they
gotta
gotta take a shot.
Yeah.
Blessings, honey. We all just gonna be taking
we
a
just-
shot. Vernacularize.
Vernacularize.
So
Like-
what that mean again?
It means to express or adapt something into the language of the people, like African American vernacular English, aka
we-
Ebonic.
We
Okay.
vernacularized the hell out of us.
Yes.
Shit.
First of all,
Okay.
Yeah.
don't be trying to. That was too
15
many big
minutes.
words for me. I
Vernacularized?
don't know what's going on. She used other
African American
words.
vernacular English.
So
She
Vernacular
didn't
English.
use
Ebonic.
It's crazy.
She just used another version of vernacularized. Come on, calm down.
Do that count?
I got
Say
No,
no.
we ain't
I'm
started
about to
yet.
say no.
Hey, look, I'm gonna put you on the spot though, man. Look,
What?
you know what I'm saying? I had a little emotional moment last week, whatever. But today, I mean, this month is men's mental health awareness month, right?
Yes.
So, with that being said, on the scale 10 to 1, 10 being good, 1 being like your worst,
Mm-hmm.
like where you at on the scale 1 to 10?
I'm gonna say
Mental.
5, 4.
4?
You
I'm
want to
on-
explain why, or you care not? You don't.
No,
care to?
I'm gonna tell you because when you're out here trying to do the right thing, it's hard because you like trying to keep a job and the job using your past against you. So that's my issue. You know what I'm saying? So
It's a lot
'cause-
on you.
and I had one of the mother of my kids say like, yeah, I'm still giving her money. I ain't had no job, but I'm still giving money. You feel me? But she was like, yeah, I need more than what you giving. But I'm like, well, you know I ain't got no job. She don't care.
Does she know you don't have a job?
Yeah, she don't care. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have to go to the streets to give you what you want. She said, whatever you got to do.
So-
She knows your past, and she's
Yeah,
still,
she don't care. But I don't blame her though. I don't blame her because she ain't gotta care. It's up to me to care. You feel me? So and I chose her, so that's my fault.
Mhm.
But you know,
Let you know.
Way to be accountable.
yeah. So I don't be tripping, but yeah, my joint is like a 5-4. Not it. I'm cool, but I feel like I'm supposed to be somewhere higher than I am. You feel me? Because I've been home 5 years.
But I appreciate your honesty
Yeah.
as far as what your mental health is, or where you think you are, because there are a lot of factors. There's nothing wrong with where you are, and then if you care to work on it, I hope you find someone or people that you
Yeah.
can speak with. And
I've been trying to work on it, but you know, it just motivated me to get my own. I need to have my own business.
So man, with like being a man, you know what I'm saying, and dealing, you know, we don't look at it like mental health.
No,
Like, do you be sometimes feeling like you be wanting people to check on you sometimes without asking them to check on you?
yeah. Especially if I'm dealing with a female that say she care about me or whatever. She supposed to ask me, am I good? Not financially or all that. Just ask me, am I good?
Yeah,
Have a real conversation.
yeah,
But I think a lot of females, they expect us to be good.
yeah.
So they don't really be asking those kind of questions.
Yeah.
So it was like they just be like, he good, cause we act good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they think we good when we really not.
Yeah. Yeah, like even your homeboys too though.
Even
like,
my homeboys.
you
But
be-
no, I'm gonna be real. My homeboys do ask me, am I good? See, that's the difference. That's why I'm not gonna accept anything from a female. 'Cause if my homeboys who I talk to maybe once or twice a week can ask me if I'm good,
Yeah.
you better.
Man, cause even knowing that like me, like cutting hair, man, like I'm the type of person. Well, when you're a barber, you gotta always take care of your client. You gotta
You
always make
everybody
sure they
else
good.
therapist.
Yeah, you get what
Yeah.
I'm saying. And you know, sometimes when people ask me like, "Nah, man, is you okay?" You know what I'm saying? They make me feel good. I be like, "Damn," you know what I'm saying? I'm always checking up on y'all.
Yeah.
But y'all check up on me like, know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm a real person too. You feel
Damn
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah,
Cause some
yeah.
people don't look at barbers like they real people.
Right.
They look at like they might call me and want to be the last person. I'm thinking like, man, I was planning on getting off, just like you be planning on getting off on your job.
I definitely do it to you all the time.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So
It's
where do
like,
you,
So
Jermaine? Where do you,
Well, I'm at-
Yeah,
on
where
your
you at?
scale?
I'd say I'm at probably about maybe a 6, 7, somewhere between them.
And do you want to express why you're not at a full
10.
10?
I think it just to do with like life stuff. Period. Like I'm one of them people. You know, we always talked about like overthinking type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I always want more. Like and that get to me because of me wanting more.
Got you.
I always put expectations on everybody else that's around me.
Mm-hmm.
Like and when you can't get away from your surroundings, you know what I'm saying? It just make you look at everybody around you like, man, look, you bringing me to a place I don't want to be at.
Definitely.
So it's just like no matter who it is, like I can be in here cutting, like somebody be talking about something that I just feel like I don't want to talk about. Me being a barber, I gotta still be on their level on what they talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So
get
you
what I'm
can't
saying?
express, hey, look, let's move on. I don't want to.
Nah, cause it ain't about me.
Got you.
Because I do it all the time. I trap somebody in here. I talk shit to him, and he don't really until it be something that piss him off. And it don't never be me. He's like, why the hell you say that?
So what do y'all do? So when you going through times like this in your life where your mental health is not at its peak, what do you guys do to cope? What are your coping skills?
Yeah.
You gonna
I don't really have one. It just you got to deal with it.
so
I gotta still come up with the money to take care of my kids. I gotta still do what I gotta do. So it's not in pay my bills and shit like that. So it's just like you don't really get a chance to deal with it because you're too busy trying to. Because a man's job is to solve the problem. If it's a problem, you gotta solve it. You can't complain. You can't whine. You can't sit around and say, "Oh, I'm depressed." You gotta make it happen. So I still gotta give, even when I don't have.
yeah. Then with
So-
me, it's like I got the gym. That's like therapy for me.
I need to do
Like
that.
I can go work out all my problems in the gym. That's how I feel. Like when I'm real stressed, I try to lift heavier than what I probably normally lift. I try to go hit. I try to work out longer than I normally work out. But then when it's like even jump in the car, like sometimes you might have to drive. I go a little bit over the speed limit, but sometimes I try to drive the speed limit just to take longer to do what I got to do, just to think out stuff I got that I'm trying to figure out on my own.
So what y'all feel about? I mean, you ever thought about when you're going through things like this, getting outside help?
Counseling, therapy, group
Yeah.
therapy.
I mean, because black men do go through a lot. Black men have
It's
an
a lot on y'all.
increasing rate of suicide, as like we kind of talked about last week. You know, I know at one point, I don't know if it's still true, but I know black men were having a higher rate of the rate of suicide against younger black men was increasing, you know, more than one would think was normal. So, like, do y'all ever think about going to see somebody, counseling, therapy? I mean, there are some
I think-
black male therapists in the area.
I think us as men, we rather talk to people that's closer to us that we feel like actually understand and not getting paid to act like they understand. You see what I'm saying? So we don't really want to talk to just any and everybody.
Yeah.
Just to vent. I think that's more of a woman thing. Women like to vent.
I think putting us.
We don't like to vent like that.
So
I ain't gonna lie.
So
Y'all don't like to
touch
vent
on
to strangers. If
No.
y'all vent to each other, sound like
No,
Yeah,
let
we
me-
can vent to each
Yes.
other
No,
because
the
we
touch-
can
Still
understand
vent
each
to-
I
other.
know you, but to touch on what he's saying,
Don't put
like
it on.
if I talk to a therapist, I want to know what you done been through before I tell you what I done
Exactly.
been through.
'Cause
So
I
if you
gotta
tell
know.
me what you going through, then I be like, okay, I can talk to this therapist.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I gotta know you've
Yeah.
been through what I've been through
Yeah.
or something similar
Yeah,
for me to really be able to vent to you because
yeah.
then I know you actually understand.
Just me. I feel like if I feel like you grew up, you know what I'm saying, you
Privilege.
had real privilege, like you really ain't had no real worries in life. Like you never been to the bottom, so you never even you can't even fathom how the bottom even look. You get what I'm saying?
So how you gonna
So
understand
you can't
me?
understand where I'm coming from because me, like growing up, like when I first started to realize what money really was, it was like I was stuck on surviving. I always thought I was surviving every second. Like when I get a paycheck, but I'm trying to get this, I'm trying to get that, I'm trying not to lose this. I'm trying not. My mind was stuck on not losing stuff. But then once I made it to a certain point, I was like, damn, I ain't in
You ain't
survival
gonna lose
mode.
it. Yeah.
Like I'm tripping. But if somebody already had all that, they never been in survival mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
you
just
don't
different.
really understand what I'm saying
Yeah.
when I'm talking to you. I don't just want somebody to listen to me. I want somebody to understand me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just go talk to a therapist because you can't really give me no real therapy if you can't feel where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I'm okay. I have two parts to that, and because you just said that, I have to address that. How do you know if you've never tried it? How do you know they can't, even though they haven't? How do you
know?
How do you come to that
I mean,
conclusion?
I studied psychology in prison. So it's all about acting. It's like an actor. It's all about saying certain things to make them feel comfortable.
That's what you.
I don't want to feel
as,
comfortable though.
because you're not certified in psychology.
I'm not
correct?
certified, no.
Correct.
But I've read a lot about it. It is not actually connecting with the person. See, when men talk, we want somebody to connect with us, somebody to understand us, somebody that can give us advice to solve the problem.
Well, that was my question.
So,
How do you know a therapist can't do that if you've never had one?
Want me to tell you why?
No.
I'm gonna tell you why therapy no therapist give you a solution because the whole thing is to keep you coming back.
No,
Yeah, there's people who once they quit therapy,
they
they go right back into the hole they was
No,
in.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Okay,
I ain't met nobody.
A lot of therapy techniques now, they are time based. And a lot of therapists, if they're good, one, they will make you feel uncomfortable. If they make you feel comfortable, they're not doing their job. They're supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. And two, if they are a good therapist, they would, if you know what they're using, they would say, if I'm still seeing you 4 months from now, I'm not doing my job. You need to go see somebody else.
Yes.
A
But
lot of
I
a lot of
honest one.
therapies are time based. They don't want you to keep coming
They
back.
time based because
But hold
But they
on,
want
you
you-
only
and then
getting
when you
paid
go-
a certain amount for
Let's go
you,
back.
you, know, you can get done.
we
You
gonna
get paid
go
for the whole
back.
year.
We
But
gonna-
they be like, nah, we
Listen.
not getting what
We're
we
gonna
need
go
to get.
back.
I
Cause
need
y'all
you to
miss his
listen.
whole point. His whole
My
point
point
is
is
that
not
it
even
don't
about-
work. He said he wants somebody that came from.
How does
that
he
under-
know? That was my question.
I
How
know.
does he know it
I-
doesn't work
I know,
if
but
he's never tried it?
I know, but listen
but
to what I'm saying
what we
though.
rather do, whether it works or don't. We not even
You
going
gave a
into
reason
that
why it
situation.
didn't work.
I-
You gave a reason why it
But
didn't work.
what I'm saying, even if it does, we gonna only deal with people
That's
we
close to it.
know.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
First, that's what he said from the jump. Most time he just gonna deal with somebody he know.
the question was why.
But why?
No,
Yeah.
because he saying he know they came from the same background.
You came from the
But
same
but
background.
how do you know they're
That's
giving
the-
you
no, hold on.
good
Y'all,
advice?
your question was why.
And that's why.
So the reason why he said what he said is because they came from the same
And then the
background.
other question was, how do you know that if you've never tried it?
But he already said he ain't
We
even
don't even
gonna.
wanna
He ain't
try.
gonna want to.
Well, he said the reason he doesn't do
But me,
therapy or men wouldn't do therapy.
I'm just
No,
guessing
you-
it
no, no.
doesn't work
Yes.
because
Yes.
they ain't came from
That's what he
Because
said.
guess what? Most people that came from my background been in prison. All that stuff. So
Jermaine came from your background and he ain't been in prison.
I
Yeah,
said
but-
most. I ain't say all.
Yeah, he said.
But my thing is, they ain't no psychologists or no psychiatrists.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't. I'm gonna tell you that now. It's
That's-
very
I
rare.
just sound like you choose to listen to people who
Yes.
come from where you come from.
It's a
But
choice.
obviously,
Because men don't want to just be heard. We want to be felt.
we want to be related. Like we
Yeah.
want to relate to
but
the
y'all don't
person
know a
that's talking
therapist
to.
can do that for y'all because y'all have already.
We never gonna try that.
And then I get that you want somebody to relate to you, but I mean, you've been talking to these people, but you still at a 4. or 5. Like it's
I
not
ain't
working.
been talking.
It's
I ain't been
not-
talking to him.
Respectfully.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to say, but
I
I'm
ain't
saying
been
you
talking
gotta
to him.
try. You gotta
Respectfully.
try
I ain't been
something
talking to
different.
him.
The only reason,
Respectfully.
but the only
Just
reason he
I
said
ain't
he
been
was at a
talking to him.
5, it wasn't. But
It's the
wasn't
job
'cause
situation.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the only
and I
reason.
It's not
understand
like me. I can talk to people and they understand me. They get
But
it.
can they help you?
But if they, like I said, they
can't-
come from the same background,
Let
so
me
they ain't got
hold
them
on. Let me go
businesses.
back on this.
They ain't
If
got
they
them.
come from
Hold
the
on.
same background, then that 9 times out of 10 they think like you, and
it's
therefore
not-
they don't have any helpful
They
advice
don't have
for
any
you.
insight for
They
you
do
because
got
y'all
hear
already
you.
on the same wavelength.
Yeah, they
because
can hear you
because
and
they
they
done
can
been through
feel
it.
you.
They can say, you know what? I know who hiring. They can do that.
A
Therapists can
can
too.
tell you.
So
who's
hold
hiring
on.
or have
Let's
connections.
start
Nope.
there, right? So a barber, right? Like he brought up earlier, a barber can be a therapist, right?
Like I was saying, us from the hood, we need people we know can relate. When you talking about you being a barber and being like people kind of like a therapist, people know you done been where they been at.
Yeah.
So they come in, I be in here. They come in and they talk to you. People tell you their whole life. I be like, what is going on? Go ahead.
Can I ask a question? So, so what you saying is that every single client that you have is come from the same background you come from?
I ain't saying they
no.
come from the same background, don't come from, but listen what I'm saying though. They don't tell me their story off of me cutting their hair for the first time. After they get to know me, they start telling me their stories.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and they only telling me because now they know me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. That's why I said if I go to a therapist,
Sound
I
like a
want
therapy session to me.
If I
They
go
get
to,
to know the therapist and now tell them.
no, but the
I want
therapist
the
normally
therapist to
don't
be from
tell
the
you
projects.
the therapist never really. I ain't gonna say never. They really don't tell you their whole story.
Have you had a therapy session?
What you mean? Yeah, I done had a therapy session before.
My
Okay.
thing is,
I'm sorry, that one was
therapist,
speaking off no experience, and I
Yeah,
want to make
I
sure
done
you
had
had
one
at least
before.
been to a
a
session.
I'ma say-
therapist is there. They're getting
I'm gonna
paid
say
to do that.
I'm gonna say I ain't have no therapy session with just me, but I
The
done-
barber getting paid too. The people ain't coming
He's
just
not
coming
getting
to
paid
the
to
barber.
listen to nothing. He
The
getting
people
paid to
ain't
cut
coming
your
just
ass.
to the barber shop to talk to him. They're
I'm-
coming to get their haircut, and in the process, they're talking to him.
Exactly.
But let me tell you what
He don't
barber.
have to
Let's
listen.
go back to this barber and then therapy thing, right? Let's go back to this thing. I can cut somebody hair bad, but just because I say good stuff to them, they'll keep coming back.
I wish I would.
But it ain't.
Not
Sometimes
really
it ain't
bad.
about the haircut. Some people come in here, they be like, "But I ain't never even talked in the barbershop before." They be like, "Man, you made me so comfortable. I wanted to talk in here."
It's
Facts.
definitely your personality. You
So-
have a welcoming personality that makes people want to talk to you. So,
But that's your opinion. You know what I'm
yeah, I'm
saying?
just saying. But if he was a barber, I wouldn't tell him shit.
But you don't
I'll be
know
honest
that.
with you.
But you
I'm
don't
gonna be
really.
honest.
But you don't really know that because.
I be giving therapy sessions in here too.
But and I about to say,
Where are they now?
I about to say you really don't know that because I wasn't really no talking person at first.
Yeah.
What I did was, Kayla tell you, I said, you know what? I don't really talk like that. I'm gonna start coaching. So I started coaching football at the same time I was doing the barbering thing, just so I can start speaking a little bit more. So then once I started speaking a little bit more, when people started coming in, it made it easier for me to talk to
Found your
people.
voice.
So
So
I had a follow up question that we never got to because that last one I had was so good. Y'all are giving your coping mechanism, and all of them sound good. All of them sound positive. What are some negative ones that you turn to, and then you have to redirect yourself?
I just be drunk.
drinking.
drunk, okay.
Alcoholism.
negative, let me think.
And you may not have them because you
might not
worked
have
your way out of that, and you know.
But you can't really afford
it.
to have too many negative ones because you got a whole family.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna work.
I don't know about a negative one.
Oh,
but,
you tell us,
but,
Kayla.
But nah, if I could tell you,
Kayla
nah,
can
Do
tell.
you self-medicate? Do you self-soothe?
nah, if I could tell you about the old me
Yeah,
when
okay,
I used
that
to
works.
when I used to try to make myself feel better. I used to like I might go to the mall. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna buy something to make myself feel better.
Okay. Yeah.
So spend money for that.
I've been
It wasn't even about. It wasn't just
Dopamine
about
hit.
spending money. It was just like
Giving
I'm
yourself
about-
something, some
Yeah.
type of
It-
satisfaction.
But it don't give you no real
nah.
satisfaction.
It just give me that
temporary.
moment. You know,
Yeah,
for
that
the
moment.
moment though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So
You want that
retail therapy.
instant feeling
One of my mother-
of satisfaction.
That
or
instant-
whatever.
My
Yeah.
my
They
twin
instant-
mother, she like that. She get a package every day at the door. So I'm like, you must find something else because you spend so much money
Yeah.
on Amazon. This is why this man a billionaire. 'Cause
I mean,
there's a lot of
retail
people do
therapy
this.
is a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
It's not a
There's a
healthy
lot
one,
of people-
especially unless you're rich. But
A
it ain't
lot of
healthy.
people doing this stuff.
So
It's
hey,
the endorphins
And it's
you
easy.
feel when you.
And it's easy now because we got the internet. Click,
Yeah.
click.
You ain't even got to
so
leave.
so now
Yeah.
I just sit there and just think. That's what I do.
I read now
I
too
sit
though.
there and think.
I started back reading it. It's been helping me more.
So what are you reading right now?
I like reading history.
What are you reading right now?
I'm reading Revolutionary Suicide over again
Yeah. I like
by
I,
Huey P. Newton.
I like reading personal growth books though.
Yeah, I don't like reading them.
I was like that, and growing up, like chicken soups for the teenage soul. I used to read all those.
I like to read something that
So,
happened
Can
already.
I go back to something though?
What?
So if you had a client who came to you, and let's say they did not come from the same background you did. Let's say they came from a
Yeah.
Two
Mid-
parent.
middle
never
class,
mind.
middle class background. Didn't struggle. Parents was there. Do they still come to you and tell you their story?
Yeah, but you
Because you
got
kind of understand them too.
yeah, cause you gotta think about it like this.
Different background.
I know. Listen though, it's a different background how I grew up, but everybody think when people get certain amount of money, they think they middle class, but really they probably won't met now.
Working class.
So when I look at them, I can look at my kids. I be like, but my son think just like you. I be like, but you think you really struggling, but you really got it made. So when I talk to him and I tell him how I deal with my son, one of my kids, and I tell them everything about that, and they sit there and be like, damn, I was the same way. I'm the same as that.
So you
So
learn
what?
from raising your kids, and you can relate to somebody that's not from the same background.
Yeah.
Just as a therapist learns the same and can relate to people and help
Nope.
them, even though they're not
But-
from the same background.
but the point-
I'm gonna leave that there for y'all. We're gonna move
okay.
on.
No,
Yeah,
you right. You right. But the point though,
You right to
I
a
know,
certain
but
degree.
the point though, at the end of the day, they talking to me because they know me though. That's the point
Yeah.
though. We make
The
it.
therapist never
You
knows
can
us
get
because
to
they're
know them.
Listen
getting
what I'm saying.
paid
They
for a
getting paid
specific
for
job.
they getting paid for us to get to know each other.
The fake, like
But the
we
barber,
knowing each
just,
other.
the client just come in to get their hair cut, and we just end up
But
talking.
just so
I'm
they-
not
It's authentic.
I ain't got to talk to you about
It's not
nothing.
authentic
Right.
with a therapist.
So if you don't go
I'm
to
not
therapy,
gonna
that
say
means
that.
you go to church because black people don't go to
I don't.
therapy.
go to
I ain't going to
church,
church
right.
either.
Yeah,
I ain't going. I'm not a religious
Yeah.
person. I'm a spiritual person. So
Well, I would just say,
It
even though
can't
the
work for me.
therapist is getting paid, that don't mean they don't have
Yeah.
a desire to help. Most of them have
They
a
don't.
I
desire
don't
to
want you to
help.
put
It's
Because
money.
money.
why would they go in it? Because there's not a whole lot of money in it.
it is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
I don't want you to put that.
Are you a therapist?
Yes.
Yes, she is. And what do you think she just
She need
graduated
therapy.
for?
She need therapy. How the hell she a therapist?
Hey,
The person that deflects all the time needs the most
Right.
therapy out of everyone.
So-
You need a hug first, and then we can go from there.
Why ain't nobody gave me no hug?
so you be walking the hood?
I be wanting a hug.
From who? From your friends?
Just a
Yes.
hug, period.
My homeboys give me hugs.
Listen,
Well, we
Wow.
love each other.
That's
For real.
I feel
That
like
is
it's a
interesting.
transfer of energy when you give it a hug. Like when I give people hugs, I feel like somebody that's been through. I'm like, oh, I want to hug them, and I feel like you transferring your energy because sometimes they are really going through and they don't know how to verbalize they're going through. And a simple hug.
Me and
would-
my homeboy got into a fight last weekend. We hugged.
afterwards.
Yes.
Okay, I'm proud of y'all.
Yeah, that's different.
Well,
What
y'all
about you?
couldn't hug first before the fight, so the fight
I
didn't have
hugged
to
him
happen.
and kicked his ass and then hugged him again.
So can I ask why y'all fought?
Because he don't listen.
So because he wasn't listening, you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe if you would have hugged him, and you could have been right there by
I
his
hugged
ear.
him and said, I love you, brother.
No,
Just
before
listen
the
to
fight,
me.
hug him and by his ear. And
No,
just whisper sweet nothing.
I did.
Or positive nothing.
Sweet nothing is
I
crazy.
said that's why I changed it to positive.
That was
Positive
gay as
nothing.
hell.
That's why I
But
changed
listen.
it to positive. You can remember.
No, but I told him like, bro, I love you. Relax. He didn't want to relax. So
What
we
about
just
you,
fought.
man?
Sometimes as men, you just got to fight it out.
No.
You like that?
Yes.
Very barbaric.
When you say hug, what you mean?
Like, do you hug
Just a
people?
hug.
Yeah,
A
not,
physical
not,
hug.
Not your wife or your kids.
You talking about like I
You
dap
wanna-
him up and I be like, all right, by my
No,
eyelid.
like
Yeah,
a hug,
you
like
come
a hug.
together.
No, like a hug, like a bear hug.
The-
like,
Man, I'm finna tell you the only
Relax.
people
I
out
wanna-
there, the only
Relax,
people out there.
please.
Ever, you saying do I want it or you
I said,
saying
do you
how
do
about-
it?
The only people I ever hugged in my life besides women is my daddy and my kids. You know the ones I love.
After this episode, I'm going to give Jermaine and Davon a hug.
I don't want no hug from your ass.
You
at this
getting a
point.
hug.
well, when
You
you,
the main one.
I'm
when
getting
you
a
hug your father,
You better hug me
do you,
back.
I'm
does
gonna
it
hug
make
you
you
back.
feel better? Like,
When I hug
do
my
it
brother,
kinda, yeah.
Kelly, you the one that told me to hug, give my daddy a hug.
Okay,
I know.
but I'm
me,
still asking you about it. They don't know
Look,
It'll
that.
make you feel better.
me and my daddy really never.
Because your daddy old
What?
school.
I know.
Yeah, he
So
old
that's what
school. He
I'm
just,
saying.
like,
So
tell you what to do. That's it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when
Let's
it,
talk about that.
that's what I'm saying. So when it came to that, I never.
Growing up, you didn't get hugs.
I don't. You like my kids. Like my kids, I hug them because of something me and you talked about. They made me hug my daddy or whatever.
Yeah. That's
So
real.
so that made
What was
that
the
made it
something?
feel more
I
important.
need
You
to know
don't have
this
to say
something.
that. Did you
Yeah,
hug, do you
yeah.
hug your kids? Because the fact that he's even
I
shared
hug
that
mine
it was
because
given to
mine
him.
hate when I do it. The older ones anyway.
What about the younger ones, the
They-
twins?
no,
They let you
love
hug
it.
them?
They love it.
Okay.
Because they don't hug nobody but me. They
My
don't like
daughter, she's 17, and it depends on if she wants something. She'll come lay her head on my shoulder.
Or-
She'll hug on me
I,
when she.
what-
but-
what-
I hug them just because.
What's so crazy? My boys, I can hug them, but my daughter, she
Like, Daddy,
not
come
with
on.
it.
Yeah, she real. Yeah,
She
she
not
kind of
with it.
standoffish.
Okay.
But she's
But she
My
know
kids hate
if
when I
she-
do
she's
it. My
Great
oldest two.
child.
hey.
If she
They hate
need
when
a
I
hug,
do it,
she
but I
get
do it
one.
anyway.
Yeah, I love it.
care.
I love my
I love
nieces
you.
and nephew. I do believe in action when it comes to kids asking permission to hug. But if my nieces and nephew allow me to, I'm gonna love on them and hug them because I feel like a hug. I don't say cures everything, but it
But it
does.
helps.
It does.
And I feel like in your situation when you and your daddy had a very, vulnerable hug, I feel like that kind of might have helped heal something in you. Because again, your daddy very old school, kind of like, I ain't saying I love you.
It healed a whole lot of me, man. I remember I was talking to my one of my cousins that's older than me. His daddy was over. His daddy was over. We was talking one day, and he was just telling me how he feel. And he was telling me, man, my daddy ain't never gave me no hug, whatever. And I told him, I went and talked to his daddy. His daddy older than his daddy is my daddy uncle. So I was like, man, look, man, y'all don't think your son need a hug, man. He need a hug on, blah, 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 whatever. He went and hugged it. He went and hugged him. He didn't want to do it. He was talking junk to me. I'm a man, whatever. He hugged him, man. Son broke down crying right there. That's all he wanted.
What did you feel when you hugged your dad? When you had that moment?
I was saying it was a certain amount of relief. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But at the end of the day, I love my daddy, but my daddy is rough around the edges.
Yeah.
My daddy
Real
type of dude you hug, he gonna be like, all right, enough of that bullshit.
Yeah. Like you give him grace. You
You know
meet
what
him
I'm
where he
saying?
is, and I respect
Yeah.
that.
I grew up hating my father because I didn't even know him like that. I've been around him, but like
How
he
old
got
were you when he
killed when I
passed?
was 8 years old, something like that. So me,
Did you hate him prior to him passing?
no,
Oh,
after because I didn't know him.
Okay.
So I'm going by what people around me say. My mother, you know what I'm saying, I love you, ma. But look, I'm just going by what she say. I don't really know what the hell happened or didn't happen, what he did do or didn't do. You feel me? So, but I'm like, when I grew up and understood, like, you don't know what the hell he did or didn't do. So it's not for you to judge.
Yeah.
That's your father. He brought you into this world. So I start hating him, but I'm like, dang, I wish I could have that conversation and that hug and all that with my father, and so we can have that understanding as father and son. That's why I don't hate him no more, because I'm like, I spent years away from my kids. What if I died or something and they just thought I ain't give a damn about them?
Did
The
that
thing-
help you affect you in raising your kids, whatever, or how you felt for your father, or whatever relationship you had with your father? Does that shape how you raise your kids or how you father your kids?
Yeah, it made me want to be more involved, really, because I didn't have a relationship with my father. So I want to make sure my kids did. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that was my biggest issue. That's why they got me in debt. I'm in debt because
Hey man, the man, like to touch on how you say you feel about your pops or whatever, man. Like, and then how you say when you got older, you start looking at it a little different. Do it feel like you? Do you feel like this for all y'all though? Do y'all feel like y'all took some stuff for granted like that in life? And you know what I'm saying? You never really appreciate it like you should have.
yeah, it made me appreciate my mother more too. Cause I'm like, my father was gone, she had to pick up his slack. So I appreciated my mother more and wish I had my father more.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah.
I lost my father at an early age too. I was 10. It was a tragic death or whatever. I put him on his pedestal. No one's greater. than him, or he never got the chance to, in my opinion, rebound as far as a father, because he wasn't really there prior to. I don't know the situations. I know he moved a couple of places and didn't always live in South Carolina. So I kind of sort of just gave him a pass, and I never had any ill feelings. And people would tell me, "Oh yeah, your daddy did this, or your daddy wasn't this, and he was that," and you and I can fight over it, because he ain't here, and you ain't gonna speak ill on the dead. And I used to be very combative when people told me about my father, and now I can say that's your interpretation. I never had that experience, so I can't speak on that, and I gave him that grace.
But I don't think people should do that though. Whether he did this or did that, it don't matter.
You gotta say to the
You
kids.
don't do that. You
Yeah, I
don't
think
try
it
to tear
affected
down a
them
person
how-
when they not here to
How
defend
I
themselves.
glorify him, and I
So
do,
they trying to.
yeah.
Oh no, he wasn't all you say he is,
Yeah,
or
and
you
that-
think he is.
But he was to
But
me.
whether he is or he isn't, if let you have that, they should let you have it.
Yeah.
As a
I
child.
don't like that. Don't try to tear down that man because she put him up there.
Yeah. So how you feel?
I mean, me and my father, we have a very
I'm saying being.
strange relationship. So
It's strange.
I'm not saying it's strange. My daddy, he's not a very affectionate person. I was raised by my mother, but I did see my father quite often. But he not a real affectionate person. I talk to my daddy like we friends, and man,
That's
it's
your
like,
homeboy.
yeah, like it tear my grandma nerves up. She be like, "Why you talking that?" Like that's how we talk. I'm like, that's how you can get to him, because he don't listen when you talk regular. I love you, daddy, but you don't listen. You got to talk to him like he a nigga from
Does
the
he
street
see it
sometimes.
as a
You know.
father-daughter relationship,
Yeah, he
or
just-
as a home?
He
That's
give
my
it. He
homegirl.
give it as good as he take it. Yeah.
Man, her daddy talked to her like she's supposed to be his son.
Right. Yeah, like we
That's how he
just,
talk.
we
Got
just
you.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's all right. Like with me, it's okay when I hear them talk.
Yeah.
That's why
know
you
what
so
I'm saying?
rough.
Whatever.
And when she met me, I was rough.
Right.
When she met me, I'm talking to her like her daddy probably
Right,
talked to her.
exactly.
You
So,
better, my
hey.
daddy can talk to me like
But
that. You
what-
better, you better watch it.
But what's crazy is how me and my dad talk. I could never imagine Jermaine and his daughter talking like
I
that.
wouldn't do
No.
that.
I know,
It ain't
because
happening.
it's like I'm like, hold on, wait.
So
Somebody
even
gonna
though
stop.
you're okay with it, if you start him talking to your child,
I'm
you
like, I'm probably looking at my phone like, what the hell y'all doing over there?
I couldn't do it
probably
anyway.
how your grandmother be looking at you and your daddy.
She do.
See, I do kind of talk to my son like he my homeboy
Yeah.
Cause he's a boy.
because he's too far gone anyway.
Okay.
He
So
ain't
you
gonna
trying to
bring
connect
look,
to him on a homeboy
so-
level?
So with that being going on, right? Like you say he's so far gone. How do you treat that situation? Do you look at it like I want you to get everything you're gonna get it out in these streets? I want you to be safe as possible in these streets.
No,
want him to learn
I
a
know you
lesson.
got to learn on your own. So whatever's gonna happen, you gonna have to deal with that. But you got to be strong enough to deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I tell him, you know what? I wasn't there, so you're gonna do what you want to do. You might not listen to me, but I'm telling you, I had to do my time. You gonna have to do yours. He doing his now.
Yeah.
So you feel me? So he
Hey,
learning
Give him
now.
some tips on how to do
so-
his time easily.
So man,
I be trying to tell him he still don't listen. He gonna learn that. He gonna learn the
Learn
hard way.
hard.
in that.
Experience
Man.
the best
And-
teacher sometimes.
Yeah.
and what's so crazy, like you touching on that, and with me, right? So say like with my son, and I know you went down your path going to jail and stuff like that. So with my path, I'm one of them people. I ain't want my son to work while I worked there. None of that type of stuff. He ended up acting wild
Same place you was
same
with
like
me.
I was acting wild, doing all this other little stuff. I used to talk junk, and I told him though, like when you get in the streets, I'm just one of them people. I want you to get everything you get, whatever come with it.
Yeah.
Just get it, cause that's what
Exactly.
you in the
That's
streets
what you
for.
want.
Yeah.
I told him that out my mouth, like I
You
want
gotta
you
learn
to
them
get
life
No, I feel
experiences.
you.
But what's so crazy though, your son going down the same path like you went,
I went down.
and my son where I used to work at,
He going down the same
he
path.
going down the same path.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn, like
But you learned some
'Cause
lessons there.
you-
That
yeah.
path, that where you were and where he is now. You
I accept his path now. Like
Yeah.
I didn't want him to work while I worked
Right.
there.
But
But
you-
now I'd rather you to work than to
Be
be
in
in
the
jail.
streets.
Exactly.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me, I'm
I
like,
like
if that's the only way it's going to make you learn,
Yeah.
then I'm okay with it.
And
At
then
least
I,
you ain't got a life sentence.
and then I look at him like man, I don't know what my shit, probably my daughter too. All my kids, I don't know where they probably got the ambition from me. All of them got
I don't know.
all of them got like ambition, man. Like when I tell you, like if they sit on something, they doing it. Like,
Right or
and I
wrong.
look at my oldest son now. Like I be like, okay, go ahead. I'm glad you working the job while you young, cause you see a job you don't want when you get older.
Right.
Facts.
So go ahead and do
I
what you
couldn't
gonna
do
do.
it. I can't do it. I work there. I can't do it.
And he-
I quit. I quit. I tap
But
out.
as if you as a youngin, you probably would have held on longer to the job
Yeah,
until
as a
you found
youngin, that's for
something.
kids.
Yeah,
It's
but then
for
you get-
young people.
yeah, but
It's
you get
not
to a
for
point
nobody
like,
old with back problems.
Yeah.
My
And-
back hurt now.
And look up my bad man. I gotta go back to this. Well, let's
Please do.
So touch on now with my oldest son, man. I apologize. We was in the car ride, picking him up from one of the jobs he worked at before. I apologize to my son for how I was trying to raise him because I was trying to raise him when I was growing up in survival mode. So I think he was growing up in survival mode.
Yeah.
But I can look at my youngest two kids like they ain't growing up in survival mode because I had grew and I knew better.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
So you trying to make
he
him
was
like you was.
He was living good, thinking he was hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you had him like
Yeah,
like
because
that.
that's how I was growing up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want no
respect
mistakes.
That full
Yeah.
circle, okay.
But I feel you though. I feel you.
Yeah, and
But see, that's why I was so hard on my son. Just look, don't be like me.
Be better than me.
Be better than me. But you know, you gotta let them find their own path.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just fortunate your son seeing you being a man still. He didn't see you going to jail and all that stupid shit. So he understood like you might not want him to go work where you worked at, but it really ain't nothing wrong with that.
it would,
not.
it
Nothing
would.
wrong with
It's
that.
a-
It
it's
would.
an honest
Hey,
statement.
look, hey, look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't care. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I was mad at everybody when he went and got a job. I was telling
'Cause you ain't want
everybody.
your son to
I
really
was
have a
telling
job.
everybody, man, I'll just go ahead and pay. I work harder and pay him out my pocket. I don't want him to work where I work. There.
I feel you though. I do feel you. Because
But-
we want our
but
kids
now-
to be.
I can see he can really make a life out of it because I made
But-
a life out of it.
But you
A
gotta look
good
at these
one,
other
too, be
people.
honest,
You
a
gotta
good
look at
one.
these other people, right? That had it all. I was with a white girl. At some point,
Happily.
I don't date outside
I
my
never,
race
I
no
never
more.
messed with
Anyway,
a white girl in my life.
Whatever.
But go ahead.
Good
Listen.
job, Jermaine.
But look,
you
Just a-
did a
I
good
really, I
job.
looked at these people and I say, you got everything,
Yeah.
but they don't have no sense of work ethic because they've been given everything.
Everything's handed on the silver
So
platter.
you gotta know it's a downside to trying to give him everything. You see what I'm saying?
It is.
But he got to be a man in the house at some point when he get older and get his own home.
Yeah.
So what he doing is right.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And I
So
agree.
you gotta realize you raised
Man,
them
look.
right. So
Man,
you
look.
mad
I-
about something you.
I 100% agree with you, because when I was apologizing to him, I said, well, I'm sorry, because I feel like I hindered you in life.
Yeah.
I said I was trying to give you everything and not make you work for it, but you wanted to get out here and get it on your own.
That's real,
like, he
though.
still don't want that from me.
That's good. That's good.
Like,
so
he
that's,
better go work for
that's
his
the
own.
character
I like that.
y'all instilled in him. So
Because you were
that's what
teaching
he-
him survivor mode when he didn't have to have it, and then that's what he picked up on.
Yeah.
But
And
that's
now-
that's good. But you don't put so much pressure on him because you want him to be better. He gonna be
Yeah.
better.
And the way,
You know what I'm saying?
it's just like you, same way I looked at pressure, I'm still thinking like how we grew up. But you know how much pressure was on us?
Yeah, it was pressure.
So,
on
but
us.
but it wasn't the same though.
Nah.
man. So, but my bad.
But
He
our
had to touch
people
on
ain't
that.
had
I love this conversation.
nothing. Really, our people was struggling.
And it was so crazy. They thought I had a lot because my mama and daddy was in the house.
Yeah.
But I used to have to tell people, how I got a lot when I stay over here with y'all.
The
Like,
mama
what y'all
and
talking
daddy-
Yeah,
about?
more than us.
The mama and daddy been in the
My
house
daddy
was
wasn't there.
the lot.
And I appreciate
that
it
was
now.
the lot part.
And I appreciate it
So
more
now
than
you
what
know
I did.
you had more, just not
Yeah.
financially.
Just not
Yeah.
financial.
You just
But-
had more in
Because-
other ways.
Yeah, because certain stuff that but I ain't talking to my dad about a lot of stuff. I go
Yeah.
to the hood and get laughed at. Me and my dad ain't have no sex talk.
Yeah, yeah.
We ain't have like learning about money for real.
Yeah.
Like I learned about a lot of that in the hood.
Did
Somebody
you
done,
have sex
somebody
talk
done got over
growing
me.
up?
No.
Hey,
You know
look.
Me
you ain't
neither.
had that.
Hey,
Did
look.
you and your mama have the sex talk?
I think
No,
I
my
don't think
mother.
black people
I'm
have
gonna
that.
tell you, my mother caught me having sex and then came in threw a bag of condoms in the room.
But I got
After.
you
She
had
put the
sex
girl
talk?
out.
No.
Said I'm gonna beat your ass.
No, she didn't. My
and
mama never
then
had a sex talk.
threw some condoms in there.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something funny. So
That's
anyway,
crazy.
I know that my oldest son was getting older. I said, "Boy, Kayla, like you gotta go have a sex talk with him." I said, "You know, I'm trying to work myself up to go have a sex talk with him." I said, damn, I gotta go do it. He watching this shit on.
He pouring,
Yeah,
he pouring
lotion
hug
in
out.
his room. So you know what I'm saying? Hey,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I said, Bumpin', I'm finna go have this talk with him. But I go in the room with him. I sit on his bed like how they do on TV.
Yeah.
Sit on his bed. I said, hey, son, I want to talk to you, man. And like, what's up? I was like, man, I said, I got to talk to you about sex, man. I said, we finna have sex talk, whatever. I said, but what you know about sex? But he said, everything. I said, oh my. I said, but young folks say that to your daddy. I said, but they say young folks say to your daddy.
Hey, he already know what's going on.
I'm
you
so
something.
crazy. I said, shit, tell me what you know. He said, oh, we did this in school.
Teach you
I'm
something.
like, oh, God, damn, y'all still do sex? Yeah. He was like, well, we did that in
They
middle
doing a
school. I'm
little
like,
more.
okay, then.
It's a little more elevated now.
Hey, so I tried to have sex talk with my oldest son. I tried to have sex talk with my youngest son, what you don't know about. Trying to have sex talk with them. They already kind of like
See
the
what's going
internet. The
Because
internet.
the internet society.
The internet
and
has
whatever.
already got them.
What age did you have the sex talk?
But he had to be in middle school. No, my oldest son had to be in probably like 9th grade. maybe.
It was before then.
It was before
You talking
then?
about who?
Jaden.
No, that was before. That was middle school.
Okay, both of them middle school then.
Because ninth grade,
Yeah,
he was COVID.
both of them
He
middle
was at
school.
home. It was middle school. About sixth, seventh grade.
Well, we grew up in. You go out there in that neighborhood and have that sex talk, they laughing at you.
Yeah.
Oh,
we just
don't know what he doing.
we just go out there and do it. We learn from there.
And
Learn from getting
where did that
kicked.
get you?
We put it in their stomach and figure it out.
I ain't do all that. I was
I
a
ain't
good,
talking
I
about
was
no
a good
babies.
dude.
I'm talking about put dick in their stomach.
I was a good dude.
Well, people,
Stop,
parents
I was.
have the sex talk
A
with your
legit
kids.
sex talk.
Look,
Yes.
sex
How
talk
do
probably
you-
won't work.
Why
Right.
women don't have the sex talk with their kids?
Do y'all have the sex talk
I'm
with
gonna
y'all
have a
girls?
sex talk with Jazz.
Like, how do you?
I'm gonna have it.
You say you will?
Why you ain't have it yet? She in
She
middle
ain't,
school.
she's
ain't
not ready for it yet. She's not there.
she? Is she in middle school?
She's in
You
middle
have
school.
you know your child. You know what her development.
Yeah, nah. Before she
She-
develop, we
Hey, I
need
ain't
to
gonna
tell.
lie
This-
about my daughter different, but I
Yeah,
ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
she-
see, but
You know how, like my daughter, I love my baby. My daughter still like do stuff that.
little kids do.
Yeah, young
She's
little.
still young.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
It is.
That's good.
Hey, look, I went
Yeah.
to go pick my daughter up from school one day, but it's so funny. I see the little fast girls out there walking. You can tell how some of them walk.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, man. I'm looking for my daughter because I know she outside at recess. I went a little early. I was like, damn, man. I see the little girl walking. I said, man, I hope my daughter ain't hanging with her. I seen my daughter over there playing on the grass is lava. I said, hell yeah, baby. My daughter doing good. keep being a kid, man.
Yeah, keep me and a kid.
And that,
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
household, the two y'all have allowed
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
that safe space to
Yeah.
be. A lot of these kids
And she
that
don't feel
are
like she gotta
grown
fit in.
or fast. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not because that's what they want. It's just
Just
what
trying
to fit in.
What they-
Yeah.
where they
What's
are.
around them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and then they catch on and run with it or whatever.
You ain't did nothing wrong.
I mean, yeah, she's still innocent. But I don't think with her, I mean, I ain't saying it's a thing, but what I find hard about raising her is she is so different. Like I call her my little alternative black girl. She's different. She like different things. And it's hard as a parent when mother, you and your daughter don't like the same thing, but you gotta act like you like what she likes. So
You
you,
know
don't, you don't want her to feel
I ain't gonna
like
act
Have her
crazy.
teach you about
It's
it. You
hard for her
don't
not
know
to
about it.
She
You
do,
have
but
her teach you about it.
yeah, she do.
It's
And
hard
I encourage it. Like whatever she wants, she be like, "Oh, mama, I like these type of books." I'm like, "Okay, girl, do you? I want to do this, girl, do you?"
It's
And
hard for her, not for me, though.
It's harder.
You
for
were
me.
glad she like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm glad
Be
she's
like that.
still innocent and stuff, but I'm saying like she just don't like stuff that I like.
I
And
know
I
we-
thought that me and
You
my
want
daughter would
your
I
bond
know.
nails
Right.
done,
But
feet
you
done.
don't.
I know she played
You
the
want
song.
all that feet done stuff and all that
Hey, look,
stuff.
she played the song in the car the other day.
I like that
Hey,
song, baby.
whatever song she want to play,
You
whatever
play
she
it.
want to play,
Right.
play it.
Some country
Right.
music.
No,
Nah,
no,
it
I don't
don't
know
be
what
there.
it
It
was.
don't be nowhere
But
near
it was alright.
close.
The song was alright.
Rock and roll.
Rock and rolls.
She got her own personality and I
Yes,
accept
yes.
it. That's
Yeah.
all.
But that's okay
But
though.
that shows what type of parenting she had. Y'all allow her that
Yeah.
safe space to be her true.
Now
authentic
she like, I
self.
ain't gotta fit in with nobody.
Yeah,
I can be me.
who I can be me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that for her.
Ain't
I
nothing
do
wrong
too.
with that though.
It's nothing wrong, but it is like hard when she go around like her cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
Because she told me before, like she
don't
feel like
fit
they,
in. Yeah.
make,
They be
make
messing
fun
with
of
her
her.
now.
But she do have one cousin. They kind of like on the same wavelength, but she older.
Yeah.
But she told me one time, she was like, I don't like going to that. They be messing with
Man,
me and they talking.
I
da, da,
feel
da, da.
like-
And I'm like,
Because-
oh, she
But-
was different.
Cousins
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
just gotta
cousins.
encourage her to
I
keep
know, I'm
doing
like,
what you
Cousins
do.
worse than
I'm like,
friends,
girl, do
honey.
you, girl, do
Damn
Real
you?
right.
love cousins are worse than friends.
I
Yup.
ain't, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I be running away from the hood.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm
we
glad to
should.
be away from the
Yes, we
hood.
should.
When I
I
say
ain't
running
gonna lie.
away, I'm talking about like when I see hood stuff, it's like I'm full speed the other way. Like,
Damn right. I ain't gonna lie. I be like that now. Like,
You're not gonna sit and
Just-
watch a fight.
no. For
That's
what?
crazy.
I want y'all to hurt each other. So
What?
if y'all ain't trying to hurt each other, I'm not trying to
He's
watch.
gonna watch the
Phil,
fight.
I'm not.
He's
I'm
still
not.
in the.
I ain't never gonna.
Listen,
I'm
he-
not
he-
gonna watch. I swear I'm
When the
not.
last time you got in a fight?
He's just
Last
gonna fight
week.
with his friend.
Okay. I just
But he
wanted
wasn't
to,
watching it though. He was in
I
it.
wasn't watching it.
No, right. I just want to pull it up. He won't watch a fight, but he'll
But
be in
I
one.
understand how men have to handle
Almost
situations.
39? No.
Hold
not
up.
at almost
Yes.
40?
Let's go
Not
back
at
though.
almost
Yes, they
40.
do.
Not
You don't
at
get too
almost
old to
40.
put hands
Let's
on
go
people.
back though. Why? Oh, he put hands on you.
Yeah, he punched me first,
Oh,
so I had to fuck him up. But I love you.
I'm so glad we got silent right there. I'm so glad we all got silent. So you clearly see
And my
where
face-
most of us.
What age
And
do
it
you
still
stop
hurt
fighting?
right now.
How old are you?
What age do you stop fighting?
Never. When you die, you fighting in your death.
A certain part of that. If it's for your kids, I love
No,
it. Because
I'm.
my
What I'm
problem
saying is,
now,
like as a man, right? If I'm talking to you like a man, and you still talking over me, you still disrespecting me. At some point, as
just shows-
men,
that's not as a man. That shows you has no growth. That shows you're a boy that you can't
No.
walk away.
So
That
can
you
I?
can't.
Can I
Cause
make you fight
y'all-
me
y'all-
with word? Can I make you fight? Use the word. That
Definitely.
was you
So that
getting
means
to.
he has that kind of control over you.
yes, you do. I love it when they have that control,
So-
cause then I get the control
Say
with
yes,
the
Daddy.
physical.
So you saying? So you
I
saying?
say it.
So you saying to me and you talking right?
Keep playing.
And I say something that disrespect you to the. I can disrespect you to the point that make you want to swing.
Definitely.
No maturity. That shows.
I
no
can
maturity.
disrespect you to the point to make you want to swing. And
It-
I
it-
know that. I know that.
I'm saying not disrespect.
I know that.
You gotta be
I
careful.
know
Hey,
that.
Listen though.
Don't try to
Listen,
act
though.
like you ain't gonna do it. I know.
Listen though. But that's too. Okay, look. Okay.
So you saying I can't disrespect you to the point you want to fight?
The only how you can do
Go.
that
Alright, then.
and when it
Say
comes
go.
to
I wanna see.
kids and stuff
Okay.
like that, wife and
Yeah.
stuff. That's the only how. But when it comes to
But
me, I
if
know
you
who
in
I
my,
am.
If you in my personal space too, you in my
It
personal
depends.
space.
It depends.
Yeah,
It
you in my
depends.
personal space.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
depends.
And I'm
Yeah,
telling
it
you, brother, I
depends.
love you.
It depends.
Relax, bro.
It depends.
Is that
But-
what you were saying? In
but-
here?
Yes.
If that's where your
I'm
headspace
grown.
was, how could a hit just
I'm-
take you over the edge? Then
A hit taking. Oh my God. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we need to skill that because the hit gonna take
Are you-
all us over the
Are you,
head.
are you
Right.
serious?
Over the edge.
If
Are
you're
you
feeling-
serious?
If you're feeling love and light, a hit should have been like,
They gonna knock that
yeah.
love like right
no.
now.
Yeah.
The love was gone for
Or
a
they
few,
did.
for like a minute and a half.
Oh, I don't
And
even
I'm back
love
to
you.
loving you.
I'm like you. I'm like you. I don't love you no more.
Right.
Now if I lose, I really don't love
Yeah,
you.
if I lose, I really
No,
don't
no,
like
we gonna have to fight
Once
again.
I
Gotta
win,
get
I'm
your
okay.
back.
I'm not completely against fight. Like if you protect, like I feel like there was a situation my child was in, and if I was there, I would have been swinging. And I feel like the man
Okay.
in her
then.
life,
He talking about
Hold on,
the man in
though.
her
Hold
life should
on.
have been swinging too. But and every man I've told the story to about what happened to my child was like, oh, let's
You know
take
how
care
it
of it. Let's handle it. And her father, he really disappointed her in that situation. So when you say you fight, I'm okay with you fighting for your kids, but whatever the conversation you and old dude was having, it didn't have to get there. You could have walked your
It
happy
didn't.
ass out.
But you
But
know
it
me.
didn't.
But you know
No.
me. I look at that two
prior
ways
to
though.
the hit,
If I tell you, brother, I love
conversation.
you,
Yeah.
and you
He stayed
still
there for the
talking
conversation.
crazy to me, it's
He
crazy.
stayed there for the conversation.
but I
Walk your
did.
happy ass on.
I ain't
No.
gonna lie. I look at that two
No.
ways though. I look at that two ways. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm not there, I'm mad. I'm real mad. But if I'm there and I see, just say if it's 1-on-1, my son. But it's a hard one I'm about to say.
Right.
But if my son losing, right? But I know my son can fight, and you losing, I appreciate that loss a little bit more.
I can
Cause,
respect that.
cause it's gonna, like when people say be a character, I think that show, like sometimes the bully need to be shown you really not a bully.
You're not a real a bully.
So you get what I'm
Somebody
saying?
better than you
So
out
so
there.
like our kids think they can fight till they lose.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm
But-
saying?
and-
So
and-
sometimes a kid need to lose.
In your
You know what I'm
situation,
saying?
wasn't nobody been out there doing what they did with my daughter. You feel me? They trying to jump my daughter. You got dudes out there somebody would have got hurt. I ain't gonna lie.
But
I'm not encouraging violence.
But let's go back. Let's
and
go
people
back to
do
that situation.
negative stuff.
Look, let's go back to that situation.
Somebody would have died.
We
That's
see.
what
I ain't little bit. I ain't get.
No, you good.
I'm
But
being
let's
right.
go back to that situation though, right?
She chose that.
But
crime.
I know. But let's go back to that situation though.
Shut.
Let's go back to that situation. Let's go back to that
yours.
situation. Really,
You chose yours.
really, it was a lighter fight than what normally would have happened though. For real
Yeah.
though.
It was.
But because in that type of situation with all that,
It could have been
but all the
worse.
girl people around,
Yeah.
they really could have did her wrong for real.
Yeah.
So really, I'm just gonna say they kind of spared her a little bit.
They did.
Shit. They could.
But the
No, they
thing
really
is,
did spare her
If
though.
I was there, it wouldn't have been no.
I know that. I
you
know
can't
that's
spare
different.
mine. Mine
Though.
gonna get her one-on-one,
So-
win or lose.
So if you right there with your child, right? Just
Yeah.
say the 1-on-1.
What
Would you let them fight? And I know.
If it was, I don't give a
1-on-1.
damn what it is.
You jumping in?
No, not one-on-one, because I know win or lose, it be okay.
Right.
My mother. I used to get chased home from school in elementary school in Baltimore. You feel me?
Yeah.
So my mother said, "I'm tired of you running in this house." She put me outside and told the little kid that y'all can get them.
Yeah. Now.
And she let 10 people jump me.
Okay, so I was about to go to this.
You feel me?
So now
we grew up in that era.
So now if your son fighting 2 people, would you jump in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. And
Do it
2 people ain't
depends.
jumping my
Do it
son while I'm
depends
right
though.
there. I'm right there.
I'm
I'm
saying
right
do
there.
it depends how
I'm right there.
how tough your son is.
If he handle
It-
his
it-
own,
it-
that's one thing.
No, it kind of depends. If my son trying to run from 2 people, I want him to get his ass whooped at that point.
Yeah.
But if he's trying to fight, we fighting.
Yeah.
We fighting.
Yeah.
I'm fucking one of them
But-
little boys up.
Cause man,
Alright,
my son like me, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I used to Kayla tell you, I used to put the gloves in my trunk.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to go to different neighborhoods. Me and my cousin
like,
Leon, aka Doobadoo.
Doobadoo.
I used to put the gloves in my trunk, and I used to go to different neighborhoods. I used to be like, and I used to get him because he know more people than me. I'd be like, man, get somebody to box me. We go in different neighborhoods. But the reason why I asked it because me, I looked at it like win or lose. I want
don't
y'all
matter.
to see.
Exactly.
I ain't playing.
I ain't
So your
scared,
son
Did
yeah.
you
fight.
want to box, or you wanted to be a boxer? Is that why you was
No,
looking for fight, or you just wanted to fight?
Okay, let's go back. Let's go
Okay.
back. Exactly. I just
Okay.
wanted
Just
to
like
fight.
to fight. He just like to fight back then.
I
So,
was like-
so my thing to make this a fight where we can look at it like we ain't gotta go the extra mile.
Okay.
Let's put on the gloves.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
gonna see. I
You
really
already
just want to
just-
fight you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, but my daddy told me, he said, boy, you keep on putting them gloves in the trunk, but you gonna get what you looking for. So I remember I ran to the grown man. I ain't gonna say his name. I ran to this grown man. And I'm talking about when I say grown, he probably 20 years older than me. He took up boxing when he was young and all. But me, I'm lifting weights. I feel like I'm big. So I put the gloves on with him. I ain't gonna lie. How we grew up, he hit me. Kayla tell you, he hit me, man. You ain't know that.
I don't think I
But I'm
was.
gonna tell you how I look at pain. When he hit me, but that's the first time I ever feel like I almost been knocked out in my life. So when people get knocked out,
They feel
I
it.
know
You get
ain't
it.
nothing you can do about it. He hit me, man. I swear, man, it was like dark. Man, but I was still on my feet.
I ain't never heard
Yeah,
this story.
So he hit me on the chin. I'm talking about that felt like the softest punch I ever been hit with. But he hit me in the right spot.
No, he hit you and you couldn't feel it because you was out of here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So when he hit me, it got dark for a minute. And I told my subconscious it had to be.
Don't
I
fall.
told myself, boy,
Wake your ass
you
up.
gotta wake up and whoop his ass. So I snapped. I remember me shaking my head, and I said, "Man, I'm about to beat your ass now." And he said, "Man, I'm finna. Well, I ain't boxing no more." He took the gloves off. So the fight was over with. I could have kept going at him like how
He
I was
realized
brought
he
up.
almost hurt your little
Yeah,
ass.
he really hurt me. He was
Yeah,
gone
yeah.
though.
You better
He
go
was
ahead.
gone. So he took him off in my mind. But at the same time, when he took him off, I said, "Boy, he's scared of me." I said, "Cause he know if I connect, I'm gonna beat his ass."
He already connected
why
though.
he took him
Yeah,
off.
you
yeah.
connect.
I said, if I connect, he already connected.
He already connected.
Yeah.
You was out of here already.
But I was out of there. I ain't gonna lie, that's my first time ever.
That
Yeah.
man second guess sister. He said, "No, I'm about to fight."
Man,
this
look.
kid."
So when people think
that,
and I was one of them people like everybody else thinking, but ain't nobody never knocked me
yeah,
out.
ain't nobody gonna knock
But
me out.
look, when he hit me, man, you ain't gonna feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie to
Yeah,
you.
you don't even feel it.
You ain't gonna feel it. So when you think people get knocked out, you think they feel it. They don't feel it. That's why they get back up and be ready to go again.
Ready to go again.
Yo.
They don't even know what happened.
They don't know what happened. I got knocked. I almost got knocked out and stayed on my feet.
Yeah.
And I realized, but I ain't feel that felt like the softest punch I ever got hit with in my
But
life.
it definitely affected you.
Definitely.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I don't think you told me that one before.
I ain't gonna say his name on camera.
I don't think you told me that one
Hey,
before.
no, I ain't gonna lie.
Whoever you are, you almost had
There's
him.
a certain person, you know who you is, you from West Greenville, but I'm trying to take up, no, hell no. I try to take up for somebody else, and because he was supposed to be fighting. So he like walk across the street, cash and carry with me. I'm about to fight such and such. I'm like, come on. We get over there, I see he's scared. I'm like, fucking, I bite him.
You
I got
take
my
that
ass
fade?
whooped.
Who whooped your ass?
Please,
Who whooped your ass?
I ain't gonna say who it is, 'cause
We want to know.
he know who it is. 'Cause
I do want to know for real. though.
we had this conversation every time I see him.
Jermaine,
Hey,
it out.
he's a short, chubby motherfucker. And I'm like, yeah,
But
he's
I
slow
know
as
it ain't
hell.
who I think it was, but his name stole the Pete with his hood. But I ain't know where the hell, man.
He like that. He like that. I don't give a damn what you think.
Let's say his nickname is Chop. I mean, the last name Chop. I mean, you know,
Yeah, pork chop. Yeah,
we know it.
yeah. You know what I'm
I
talking
never
about.
heard that name, but
He
who
like
Pork
that.
Chop, my nigga, man.
Pork chop, you my
That's my
guy.
nigga, man.
I want
That's
to.
my nigga, man.
Listen.
Hey,
He like
man,
that.
now
look.
we know.
He like that. He
Hey,
like that.
look,
He
man,
like
look, for
that.
real though, Pork
That's-
Chop,
Let's
man.
put it out there. You keep talking crazy to me. I'm calling
I'm
him
calling
Chop.
him
Man,
Chop.
but look,
You know, I'll
listen
fight
though.
him. I don't
But
give a
listen though, man. Pork Chop, man, that motherfucker was grown when he was like 11, 12 years old. I ain't
Word.
gonna lie to you.
He was
So you wasn't
hustling,
scared when you fought
getting his
him?
Smoking
own money,
cigarettes.
everything.
You wasn't scared when you fought him?
No,
You thought
because
you
in
had
my
him.
mind, he's short and
Listen
fat,
what
he's
I'm
slow.
saying.
I'm gonna
Pork
beat him
Chop.
up.
You
Pork
sure?
Chop.
I'm not.
Listen
But
what
he
I'm
was
saying.
short
Pork
and
Chop was one of them people you look at, you like, but that nigga can't fight.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how he looked. And he
I
whooped
ain't
you.
know he was
He
with
whooped my
ass.
ass.
Shout
too.
out to
I
Pork
ain't know.
Chop real quick.
That my boy though.
Pork Chop out there putting belt to
What the hell
ass.
he at?
Hey.
Where he at?
He be around.
Oh, he do?
Yeah,
Damn.
he be around.
Listen,
But yeah, he beat my little
He a
ass.
legend in the
I'm
hood.
trying to take up
Right.
for another motherfucker. And I
your
got my
ass
ass. It ain't
whooped.
even my business.
That's what you
Damn.
get.
I got my ass
Yeah,
whooped for
Pork
nothing.
Chop, my boy. I
That's
guess that
crazy.
shit, right?
I'm gonna tell you.
Funnier. It wasn't even your fault.
It's
Right.
even, no, it's even funnier because his mother had to say, "Okay, that's enough."
Oh, man. Oh,
Mama
man.
for saving him.
Oh,
Hey, you know what I was
man.
thinking in my mind? Thank you.
What the
He
hell,
whooped my
man?
ass.
Nah,
God
goddamn,
damn.
Pork
Wasn't
Chop.
nobody gonna break it up? Y'all ain't been seeing it?
By cash and
Pork Chop on
carry.
Facebook.
Ain't nobody told you.
He don't pay for it.
I don't know.
I got
don't
to look
think he
for
on
Pork
there.
Chop. God
That's
damn.
my guy, though.
Nobody. So you had never saw him fight previously?
Pork
Yeah,
Chop
but
didn't
in
fight
my
like that,
mind,
though.
I
did he?
can beat him.
Pork
my
Chop didn't
brain-
fight like that, though.
He didn't though.
Yeah.
He
was a
get
cool
money.
ass,
He get
grown
money. He don't
ass
care about
kid.
fighting nobody.
Okay.
He didn't
He don't
fight
want
like
no
that,
issue
but
with
he was like
nobody.
that.
Yeah.
He's not even a dude
And
that
those be the scary ones.
he don't do no arguing with you.
Scary
Hey,
None of
man,
that.
look.
He
Man,
get
look,
a
I
little
got
money
I got
and
to touch
chill.
on that, though, man. Look, Pork Chop, man, this is my boy, man.
I started
They
it.
had a
I'm
house.
being
They,
honest.
Pork Chop near had a house, man. You go, everybody went to their
Yes.
house. They ain't really have a lot, just like everybody else in
Mm-hmm.
the hood, but everybody went to their house. I don't give a damn who you were. You
Yeah.
can just go to their house and sit on their pool.
For real.
So it sound like
He said
Pork
it
Chop
started with a
good legend.
P. And you
Thank
ain't
you.
eat with y'all.
Huh?
Damn. I was just saying, damn.
I said he a hood legend.
He ain't
Yeah,
no-
he's not a legend,
He
but
beat B-More City
Yeah.
ass. We gonna put him up
motherfuckers
there.
know him. Motherfuckers
Yeah,
know
everybody
him.
know. He West
Everybody
Greenville.
know. He a West Greenville
Yeah, he
legend.
West Greenville now.
All right,
He
Pork
West
Chop, if you
Greenville.
listening, you know,
That's
hit
my
us
guy,
up,
though.
bring you on the show.
You know what I'm saying?
we
Got
definitely
love
wanna
for
have
you,
that
No,
brother.
we want to get this fight
Yeah.
blow by
But
blow.
we said short and chubby. That's the only short and chubby nigga I knew over there.
And he fast too. I said, damn.
I want
Every time he
I
hit
want
me,
to
I
hit.
said,
I want to hear this fight blow by blow. So Pork Chop, hit us up.
Damn.
Come on
He
the
ain't
show.
gonna tell the truth.
Man, Pork
Hey,
Chop.
boy, y'all don't even be caring.
Only
Every time I
part he
see him and I
told
say
is
something
that your
about
mama
it,
say
he be like,
to him.
bruh, that shit over with.
I
You
gotta
need to buy
see
his
him.
mama.
I kicked your ass,
You
you
need
won
to
the
buy his
fight.
mama flowers every Mother's
Right.
Day.
Shout out to his mama.
His mama
Damn.
saved my life,
It's
baby.
crazy.
He wasn't even trying to beat
shit.
your
Tell us-
ass.
tell
That's
us-
the
tell
He
us
worst.
wasn't.
your
He was like,
loss
bruh,
in
go
the
ahead. I don't
My
even. I
loss-
don't got no problem with you.
I ain't really
said,
had no law.
You ain't
Yeah,
had no
I
loss
ain't
in
had no
I done
law.
had a couple
But
of
now,
them.
if you want me to tell you some fights that I wanted to have, they didn't happen. I can tell you about that. But I don't ever want to put these niggas on.
Nah.
I don't want to put them out there. But at the end of the day, I'm
didn't
still
have
me.
this,
They
so
ain't gonna
let's
say
speak
what
up.
the fuck they. Excuse me. Let me go to the new me.
Oh, we not supposed to cuss on here?
Either way it go. No,
Shit.
I'm just saying. I almost went to the old me. They ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just saying though, cause I know it's facts. Point blank. Period. It was some. I know it's
No,
facts. Point blank.
yeah,
Period. You know, I'm a
I
good dude.
just talking about
I'm
the
in a good
losses.
neighborhood. I'm living right now.
You a suburban nigga now.
Yeah.
Yes,
but
though.
I'm gonna say this though. Since you say
You ain't
that,
even
right?
from the hood no
I'm gonna
more,
say
right?
this since you say that. Man, I remember one dude. I ain't saying no name.
I wasn't trying to.
I know, man. You
glad you
made it
did.
obvious for me though.
We glad,
So
we
you
glad
ain't gonna
did.
know this dude though. I know you ain't gonna know him cause he probably moved right before y'all came. So it was a dude in the neighborhood. He my same age as me. Everybody, all the dudes my age was scared on or whatever. And you gonna know when I say this though. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it, man. Fuck it. Anyway, everybody was scared on. My best friend at the time back then was Louis Sullivan. I'm gonna say his name. That's my boy. That was my
Shout
boy.
out to Louis
I
Sullivan.
would have did anything for Louis back then. And I remember this one particular dude used to pick on all the motherfuckers out. Hey, he ain't never pick on me. But I was one of them people I didn't like, people bullying people that we was cool with. And I remember one time, this is the time I fought him 2 times, really. One time I fought him, it was a big drug dealer at the time. Back in the day, they used to pay kids to fight.
Yeah.
So they were like, man,
That's
I'm
how
gonna
I beat
pay.
a few of them.
So one time
heard that.
we was in the neighborhood, he was like, man, I'm gonna give a kid $50, man. They
Yeah,
fight. Whatever. And me and this dude on the kid out there, I was like, damn, I'm finna have to fight him.
Yeah.
At that time, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't really ready. Cause I ain't expect that. But you know what I'm saying? But when he hit my boy Lewis in the chest one day, boom, smacked him in the chest. Man, I remember I stepped to him, I say, man, fuck that, hit me like that.
Yeah.
When
And
the dude hit you, my
said,
brother
man,
and me,
he
knock
said,
your ass
man, I
out.
don't even want to fight you. That's when I realized, like, but I see who you picking on.
The
But
people you think
he
weaker
the
than you.
same dude that made somebody shit on themselves in school when he swung at them. And we gonna keep that to ourselves.
Shit
You
on
know who I'm
themselves.
talking
Shit
about
on
though.
themselves when they did
But that's my
what?
When
boy
he
though.
swung at 'em.
I
Yeah,
still, hey, I got love for him. That's my boy though. Hey, but hey, look, hey, everybody know what's real. Hey, that's
yeah.
my boy though.
Yeah.
I still, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
don't you?
All right,
He
let's,
swung at him and missed, and the boy shitting on himself.
God.
And the
okay.
people think, nothing. Let me
We not gonna put nobody out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
shitting on
ain't.
yourself is crazy.
Yeah.
Shitting on yourself is
You
insane.
know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
He don't.
Insane.
Let's move on.
But yeah, you know, I'm
But it
fighting
had
for
to be
my
a hell of a
kids.
swing, though.
I ain't never
That-
too old to put hands on somebody. But
Yeah, I can say for your
again,
kids.
as a
you,
man,
it's whatever.
we're gonna try to have a conversation first. Cause as a man, we supposed to try to talk it out before we get physical.
Hey,
But if I realize it can't be a conversation, we're gonna fight.
man, I know,
I'ma beat you up.
I know we just kicking back, man. Look, I ain't like, I got a lot of comments on me with that emotional shit. But you ain't never cried.
Hell yeah, I told you when my stepdaughter come on here.
No,
I
I
was
ain't
gonna
know
cry.
that. No, that's
Oh, you talking about cry, period?
yeah.
Everybody cry.
No, I'm talking
Hey,
about
I'ma
as a
tell you,
man, we was taught
When
not
I
to cry.
when I went in jail for my murder charge, right? I was about to cry. You know what my mother said? Don't cry now, bitch. The way
Shout
I want to
out.
be gangster.
She a real one.
You better than
She
you
a
gonna have
real
to do
one.
sometimes. You might not have to do the time they saying, but you gonna have to do sometime. You know what I'm saying? Don't cry now.
No, don't cry.
You
I
now.
cried
said,
before
dang,
she got
I want
there.
no.
You said you
But-
and your baby mama was crying.
She was crying,
I thought y'all
but
was
I
crying
wanted to
together.
cry too.
When I,
I did
cried,
want to cry.
You cried.
When I seen my
we
mother, I was
cried.
like, I was about to cry.
Yeah, so them
Tears
was
was in the
gonna be
eyes.
tears like.
Tears was in the eyes when I seen my mother.
So the whole time you was in jail, you never cried?
No. But I'm not saying that I didn't want to,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
Cause you couldn't.
Because I couldn't. You can't cry in jail.
I'm
No,
saying, like,
But my mother made me like
No, when I say couldn't
swallow
cry,
them tears like, nah, fuck.
when I say
No, I
couldn't,
couldn't cry because it wouldn't come out.
yeah, exactly.
You
That's
feel
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
It really
Yeah.
wouldn't come out when I was in jail.
And
You feel me?
sometimes in a man's life, women don't understand, man. Sometimes we be feeling like I need to cry,
Yeah,
and we can't even fucking
can't
cry.
even cry. I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't cry when I hit the jail. But when I seen my mother, I did want to. but she made me like,
Yeah.
nah, don't cry now.
So-
But my mother been in prison, all that kind of stuff. She already know. She
You already gangster.
been with the gangster stuff already. She went to jail for something she didn't do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She
Yeah.
didn't tell on people. So that's why I'm like, I can never be a rat.
Yeah.
Cause my mother went to jail for not being a rat.
Yeah.
So, and she didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
She went to prison for something she didn't do.
How long
Absolutely.
was she in
So-
for
Could
not
never be
telling?
me.
It was only like 8-9 months, but
Couldn't be me.
my
Wasn't no 8 or 9
mother
days.
missed
something I
time
ain't
out
do.
of her kid's life because she stood on those principles.
Yeah.
Though. So me, I took pride in myself.
Yeah, man. So the tears I had coming out my eyes, right?
They were real.
Yeah, they were real,
You
but
cried
but
last episode?
It was
But it-
joy though.
but it came out of time of like that's why I brought up when he was dropping me off and stuff like that because like them was like moments like my daddy. I love my daddy. He even though he was gone sometime, but he was at home most of the time. My daddy was the type of person when he said he finna go to the store, he might not come back. Like he might be gone for a year.
The realistic.
Yeah, my daddy done been gone for a year before, some months before, but my daddy always came back, and my mama always waited on him. I ain't even gonna lie to you, and I used to always say, "Mom, you need to leave us."
So in that year time frame, did you see him at all? See him out
no,
and about or anything?
no, I was a kid. I'm a kid, so no, I ain't never see him out.
Okay.
But I'm a kid at the time. I'm always like I remember at one point in my life, I was like, "But my daddy ain't never coming back." My one of my cousins say, "But your daddy gonna come back home." He came back. So you gotta think about. I was in this little program in elementary. Like this went on till then. I got out of high school. Like it ain't been a whole year every time, but it been like month.
We-
Long
3
periods
months.
of time.
Yeah, like it been different. But as a kid, you always think when you see your mama and daddy together, you think your daddy and your mama, that's the only relationship they ever had in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think they only been with each other?
Yeah. So even when your daddy tell you
Yeah.
some shit like, yo, man, I missed somebody for your mama, you like,
like, what?
damn, you cheat on my mama.
Yeah.
Before you even know.
At this point, you had to cheat on
Hey,
her.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the only person you're supposed to be
Yeah.
with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, so when it came out my eyes, it was more on some like damn, like I was trying to like a lot of men, cause I don't know if he gonna admit there's a lot of men, what we do is we latch on to people that we think father figures sometimes.
Definitely. Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? Good or bad, we gonna take that good. If your father ain't around, you gonna take the good in another man, you gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna latch on to that. Then another man, it might be several people. You be like, I'm gonna latch on to that, I'm gonna latch on to that, I'm gonna latch on to that, and that's what I'm gonna take with me.
Yep.
And there's a lot of stuff he was doing I latched on to. You know what I'm saying? And
But
that
see,
was,
That made
that's
it
why
emotional.
what we call gang banging, that's why it's so is at its peak because they're looking for that family structure, that father figure in the what we call gang. You feel me? So that's why it can never be stopped until we get the black men back in the household.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So with gang banging, we're gonna do like this.
Quotations, yeah.
With gang banging, right?
Mhm.
Is y'all trying to get the black man back in the household?
Definitely. That's what we encourage. Like, well, I can say what I do.
Yeah.
I encourage my brothers to be at home. You got kids, you need to be spending time, not just money. You know what I'm saying? You can bring your kids over here.
Are you living by action or like you?
Definitely. I drive 2 hours to see my kids.
Let's go back to the. Let's go back to the. You know what I'm saying? To the group.
But I'm just saying.
Are you in the house?
And I try to lead by example too.
I got you.
I don't just tell my brothers like, do this, do that. I try to do it myself. I
Yeah.
don't say stay out the streets,
Yeah.
and I'm in the streets.
Yeah.
I try to stay out the streets and find a job.
Yeah.
So I can say, you need to get a job. I got a job.
Yeah.
You feel me?
So, and I don't want to touch on it too much, but
Yeah.
like just say with the gang banging thing, right? Cause you say you trying to keep the fathers in the household,
Yeah.
right? So just say when it comes to like illegal, legal type stuff, right? Cause you got gang members they got certain, I ain't gonna say certain assignments, but they got certain stuff they good at.
Everybody
So-
got something they good
Yeah,
at.
so how you keep the ones that's good at the street stuff, how you navigate them to doing something outside of the street stuff to make them a real man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it like that, but you know what I'm
let's say
saying.
this, right? You good at hustling,
Yeah,
but you only know one way of hustling.
yeah,
All right, but we got this machine that can make shirts. We
Yeah.
do.
yeah,
The shirts I be wearing with my name on it and stuff,
yeah,
my little homies make that.
yeah.
I say you
Why
can
they can't
hustle
make us some
shirts.
shirts?
They really can. But we'll be waiting for them. But that's what I'm trying to encourage them to do. Like, instead of hustling, you can hustle shirts. Let's build a clothing line. You got the machine to make these shirts, the printer, all this stuff. That we use the money to get these machines and stuff. Utilize that to get money. So they started doing it a little bit, but that's what I try to encourage them. Like, hustling don't gotta be drugs.
Yeah.
It can be other
Can I ask you a
ways.
question?
Yes.
Okay. So I know, like you said, a lot of people go to gang banging because they might not have a father figure.
Yep.
So let's say you get a little young person want to join a gang, whatever. Let's say you know this little child come from a 2-parent household, live in the suburb, just want to live like what he see on some gangster movie, whatever. You gonna let him join the gang? You be like, boy, take your butt on back to the suburbs. What y'all do?
Are you being an OG like you should be?
Yeah, because you know he don't got
that's
it in
part
him.
of being
Let
an
me
OG.
tell you why.
He don't got it in him
I done turned away a lot of them, right?
because they ain't got it in him.
Not it ain't even about, because being a gang member is not about having nothing in you. It's about you having that family. You give them the rundown, like,
But they not. They
we ain't
can't relate to them
into
right now.
we ain't into no
Let them
gangster
out.
shit. We ain't into no bullshit. We trying to damn elevate.
See, y'all give
You know what
back
I'm
to the
saying?
community on a regular.
Yes. Every year we feeding the homeless. We fed the homeless last June.
Once a year.
Yes. Well, twice a year. We fed the homeless. We gave away we paid for the food out of our own pocket. We cooked the food and we handed it out ourselves. So if nobody sponsored us, it came from us.
So it's nothing.
And this is what I showed them. This is what we gonna do. And we actually gave away like tampons, pads,
So it's
toothpaste,
Feminine
deodorant,
products
So-
and
all that.
personal hygiene stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
So
like that.
it's nothing. There's nothing that in your group
Not in mine.
that can lead to jail or death.
No.
So
Unless you choose on your own. We're not encouraging that. We're not doing that. I go to work. If I got a job, I'm going to work every day. You don't see me until I'm not at work, until I'm off. If I'm off on the weekend, I pull up on you. What's up, brothers? Yeah.
So why is it a gang? Why wouldn't it just be like
That's
a
what-
brotherhood
that's
or
what the-
coalition
A
or
fraternity.
The
fellowship
white-
or fraternity?
The white man has said it is a gang, so we in turn started acting like one.
Can I?
So what you doing now?
ask-
What are you acting like now?
We acting like an organization that's for
Okay.
the betterment of the community. That's about elevation. Elevation or nothing is our motto. You feel me? So
So it's no illegal activity.
no.
No fighting,
No. 'Cause
nothing.
even if they-
hustling,
That's
Like
the
I told you, me and
misconception of
my little
gangs.
brother, we fought and we shook hands. I love him. We talk on the phone
That's
every
like
day.
the Black Panther Party. They put this misconception to make you feel like it's a negative thing
Yeah.
in the community when they have.
And it really not.
Okay, but I mean, I guess it's just
But the Black
different
Panther
because
Party different though.
No, it
But
ain't.
I'm just
No,
saying
it
Yes,
that's
it
how they
is.
put
No, it
it.
ain't.
But we
It
do-
is. It's
A
different.
lot of them
Okay,
became
but we do
blood.
know-
I know.
A lot of
that's
them
a
became
I know
blood.
that's a different though. They became a blood, but when they was the Black Panther Party, they was doing other things. When they became
doing the
blood,
same thing.
I know. Listen what I'm
We
saying.
doing the
They
same
don't have
thing.
the injustice.
I
to
know,
fight,
but I
get-
don't like that comparison though. That's different.
No,
That's
because they don't know no
No,
better.
no,
I'm
no.
not
Listen what I'm
comparing
saying.
the Black
saying.
Panther Party.
No,
I'm just saying
we was
they
trying to be-
made-
we
They
be-
made the Black
hey,
Panther Party out.
no,
to be
they
I'ma
different
tell
than it
you.
wasn't.
No,
Well,
they
we
never-
trying to become political people too.
They never made them.
But we can't do it and say we bloods.
Listen what
That's
I'm
the difference now.
I know, but listen what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Look, listen what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
No,
I
it
got
ain't.
what
No,
you
it's the
said.
same thing.
Listen what I'm saying. I know it ain't the same thing.
It is. It is.
Listen what I'm
But I'm
saying.
just saying, I know-
I got what you saying.
know
gang.
people who are in gangs and
Listen,
literally
just-
all they do is illegal shit. Like
Yeah,
that's
that-
what I'm saying. So it's not really
They gang members.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not really
I
misconception.
ain't a gang member. I'm in the
saying
organization.
okay, but I'm saying that's not a misconception. 'cause
Yeah.
that's what they
It's not
do.
a misconception.
It's just
but what I'm
different.
telling him is
You
we got brothers trying to be in trying to
I
run
wasn't
for.
talking about what you saying though. I'm saying they ain't no comparison.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Then
it
let
is.
me
It's
tell
not
you the
even
part
close.
I compare. You want me to take this?
No, it's not close at all.
We done made a
No.
lot of difference.
No, this is what I'm
Jermaine,
saying.
Wait,
It's-
let me. Can I say this right quick?
They
I
started
wasn't-
free lunch
I
cause
was
what?
Because of Black Panther Party.
Free breakfast.
They started
Yeah.
Wick, the
no,
Wick,
yeah, free
the
breakfast.
Wick infant-
Free
Yeah.
breakfast.
Yeah,
And
the
lunch.
Wick program.
They wasn't
the
feeding
meal-
us at all in the school.
So now let's go back to the comparison thing.
I didn't know that.
Oh, go
I
ahead
just,
then.
I was,
Cause
let
he
me
said they
clear
the
this up.
same, though.
No, that's
We
not
are.
what I was saying.
We
I'm
are
just
the same.
saying like they tried to make my thing was saying they tried to make the Black Panther Party out to be this bad
Yeah.
organization, and they're not. That's just what society does. I'm just saying I feel like that's what happened to them.
But what
that
I'm
they-
saying is we done made strides
No,
too.
it's a difference,
We done
though.
made strides too, but we can't do it in the name of
I
blood.
know, listen what I'm
we
saying.
can't say I'm a blood, so I'm doing this. And we don't promote it.
I ain't going to get
Like
you.
when we feed the homeless,
I'm
we
not-
don't do that and post it on
Look,
Facebook and Instagram
I'm
and
not
TikTok.
going to
with your
get
big
you.
B's.
We don't do it. I'm
I-
not saying you are,
G's.
but
Look.
I'm saying there's a lot of stuff that we do
No.
that people don't see.
I know.
So they
listen-
don't know.
I know, but listen what I'm saying.
Everybody else promote theirs.
Now,
We don't promote
you know
ours.
I know them, so I'm not going against you.
One of your
But-
people help me
but
out.
But I know, but listen what I'm saying.
up.
Them two different things, period.
It ain't.
Yes, it is.
We the
Cause
same
the Black
thing.
Panther Party, they wasn't killing Black Panther Party.
Yes, they
No,
was.
They ain't have an organization they was killing. You get what I'm
Yes, they
saying?
did.
No, they did.
Want me to tell you
just-
what?
You just start
You-
doing stuff when you don't want to listen. You gotta listen.
No, the Black Panther Party was beefing with another organization.
No, listen what I'm
That
saying.
was the Black
They
Panther Party
wasn't
too.
killing though.
They was.
You talking about? I already
The
know. you talking-
BLA was killing.
They,
You
no,
see the black.
You
had
talking about the
Black
Liberation
Panthers-
Army?
Yeah, the Black Liberation Army was under the Black Panther Party.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
they were trying to act as two separate entities, but
They
they was the same thing.
they kind of was different.
They was the same.
No, I'm
They
gonna
was the
tell
same.
you. No,
'Cause
we ain't
they
gonna
had-
get on that. They
No,
was
we
different.
need
We ain't
to.
gonna get on that though.
Cause-
They
I
was
think that's gonna have to be
different.
we come from that. We
This
come from
conversation
that.
gonna have to be
We
a
come
long
from
one.
that.
It
They was
is.
different.
This
We both
conversation
know.
just
Cause
went.
the Black Liberation Army, they were just trying to take over the southeast of United States. That's what they were trying
Let's
to do.
go ahead and take these shots
But
because
go
ain't none
ahead.
of us use that
Yeah,
word. Let's
we
go
wasn't
ahead and
really
take
taking. They wasn't trying to just
Yes,
take
it
over.
is. We over.
I tell you, the southeast, they were trying to take over.
They
like,
wasn't just trying to take over. You know what they was there for? They had to. That was there for discipline.
Okay, can
Eric,
I
I
have
don't
a
know
question.
They were running the drug dealers off, all kinds
I
of
have
stuff.
a question.
Huh?
Okay, for your organization, why do you have to affiliate yourself with a particular gang when there are certain, I don't know, sects of that gang that do engage in violence and illegal activities? Because I know one,
All right,
one
well-
of your cousins who they be doing all kind of illegal, I don't
Well,
think you do it now.
but what about-
used
what
to.
a-
But so why not do your own thing? Why do you have to affiliate yourself with something that is already have a conception of being or perceived some way? Why not just do the same thing but give it a different name? Why?
But
I'm just saying why.
My thing is
Weaken yourself like
people
that?
on the
my-
belong to something.
we-
I'm saying you still belong to it, but you
I'ma
don't
tell
have
you
to
this.
affiliate yourself with
when
that.
I became what I became, right, I understand like we must have these organizations.
Why?
I
Why?
know.
So- because
it.
you got people in the hood we grew up in that just don't have that family structure.
I get it, but
They're
why
not
do you
gonna have it.
But why do you have
They
to?
don't have it.
Why do you have to be affiliated with that? Why not affiliate yourself with something else or build your own? You know
I
what
mean,
I'm
some
saying?
people try that. It just don't spread worldwide.
It
You
can,
realize
though.
these organizations
They-
go to
No,
Japan,
no, no.
Africa.
did.
Look, no, I
You
got,
can.
It goes
I got
They
everywhere.
did, so you can.
I got his.
You're
an-
limiting
I
yourself.
get it.
I hate to say it like this, but I got his answer. Put it like this. His
don't
answer.
drink it now. Don't drink
This
it
his
now.
answer. His answer is that
It's
you
already
know,
there.
like I was like what we was dealing with. Some like more appetizing, more like you can take it in easier. Like just say like you say why you don't join another organization. So if you
Or
look
why
at
you don't make your
so
own.
you look at the older organizations, they were dressed in suits, whatever. So you look at the people up under them. A lot of us weren't dressed in suits. They was adapting to the people that look like them, that dress like them. So what they were doing, they were joining like these organizations, like what he talking about, because it was more familiar to them.
Yeah.
Because they weren't gonna put on those suits. Like you get what I'm saying? I know I got what you saying.
But
though.
see, we
got
start
what you
joining
saying.
people because, like, I didn't have a father figure, right? But this dude outside, everybody love him.
I get it.
So now it's not because I can't form my own. It's because I got love for him because he been there for me. He gave me money and not try to recruit me. He made sure I had, oh boy, you look, them shoes got holes in it. But I'm gonna buy you some shoes.
What do you
boy.
do for a living?
You know, sell drugs. He doing the wrong thing. But I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at him doing stuff for me and not even saying, I want you to be this.
Okay,
He ain't doing something and he ain't got to do it.
Yeah, he's doing something
Because
for you,
he know
but then
that's his obligation to the community.
But then he sell drugs that tear down the community.
Yeah, you right.
Cause
But I'm not
drugs
looking at that.
It's not a
drugs that
benevolent
killed
drug
us,
dealer.
boy. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna
'cause I
lie.
can't-
I'm not looking at that though.
But that's one
I'm
thing I
not
can't
saying
say,
he's
like,
not
it's
doing
never
that.
a benevolent drug
What
dealer.
age
Yeah.
you was? Cause I
I
think
was
they were getting
16.
throwed off.
I was 16.
I mean, I get it.
But I wasn't
The need
really,
for family.
when I came back to Greenville from Virginia, they wasn't really doing the gang
no,
thing
they
in
wasn't.
2002.
They was not.
They wasn't doing that.
I wish
So
y'all stopped.
I was still on the hood thing.
I wish
So
they stopped.
so to just touch on that, and I know you, I know you can't go against us, but at the age we at now, do you still feel comfortable? Nah, we ain't gonna touch on
No,
that. man.
ask it.
Do you still feel comfortable, like saying I'm a blood,
Yes.
like no matter where you
Because I know what I was taught versus what's been promoted. I was never taught no negative stuff.
Yeah.
I was never taught to run the streets and sell drugs and kill people. Oh, you supposed to hate Crips. You supposed to hate this and hate that. You supposed to do this. I was never taught that. I learned that from TV, social media. I started acting according to what social media taught me, not what I was taught from the person who brought me in.
Can I ask you this though? A lot of this stuff in our culture was taught from music and TV.
That's what I'm saying. So
So-
I was never taught that personally.
Yeah.
So I can't say, oh, because my perception actually was the positive things. It wasn't the negative stuff. Even though my brother was selling drugs, he didn't encourage me to sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got to lead by example, all that stuff. But
So just say if you seen somebody selling drugs, would you stop them?
yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
So
what they
any
said.
Because I know
negative,
we supposed to elevate our
exactly.
people.
That's why I asked. So
Yeah.
any negative thing, you gonna stop it.
Yes, because we about elevation, not tearing down our
Chaos and
people.
yeah.
You feel me?
So I got what you're saying.
So I'm not saying we people don't do negative stuff.
Yeah, they gonna
I'm
do
just
it.
saying that
That's
it's
in
not
anybody.
about that at all.
Yeah.
And nobody's being taught that. So people think that we, as people coming in and teaching them that, that's why I still take pride in saying what I am.
Okay.
Because I was never taught no negative stuff.
Yeah.
I learned to be negative with people. Like
Yeah.
people just encouraged me to do that. Not
it-
my people.
So is there a difference between these gangs that are in Greenville, South Carolina now versus what's, let's say, in LA?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Wholeheartedly.
So I guess maybe
They
that's,
catching it late, so they do a
maybe
little.
that's-
They do stuff.
so
way
maybe
different.
that's the distinction that
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
make. Because
But if you go up north, you see more school drives, like back to school book bags.
so what is
and
it like in what is the LA gangs?
LA, they do the same thing.
They
But
They
they
more
like
about
family.
Black
They
Panther.
more
situation.
family type shit.
Yes.
Like, for real.
They grew up together.
Yeah.
Every day they lived in the same neighborhood. So
Okay.
it's not.
So they don't like, it's never like they kill each other or anything?
They might.
It
do that
happens.
now.
Not. But it happens because
better
you
understanding
got
of
different
that.
neighborhoods that beef with each other. Because I'm gonna tell you,
Each group took on their own vernacular.
if you read my book,
Huh?
if you read my book,
Is
if
that
you
what
read
that
my book,
was?
the white people, the police used to shoot up the blood neighborhood, throw a blue flag out there. Go and shoot up a Crip neighborhood, throw out a red flag out there. Now it done started. Now we warn against each other, not knowing it's been set up. Once we realize it, too much blood been shed. So now people don't want to let stuff go because we actually love our brother as brothers. That's my brother. You killed my brother. Regardless of how it started, my brother's gone. So I want bloodshed every.
So
So
but-
it still
but-
so it still continues.
It continues.
But
I ain't gonna lie.
to saying
We
you
gotta
just
stop
said,
there, though.
to saying you just said though, and I'm glad you said that at the end because I was about to touch
We
on
gotta
that.
stop there.
Because the saying you said, if you know that,
And no
that's
better,
when
do
it got to
better.
come to an end.
Yeah, but even though we know it, we know.
Cause-
Well, my brother's still dead because of whatever. I
It
don't care
don't-
who started it. You still killed my brother.
But they
You
killed
feel
him
me?
for
That's my
they thought they
thing.
killed him for a
They set a
reason.
trap
Because
for
they
y'all,
killed
y'all
him
took
because
it.
They thought they killed him for a reason.
You know what I'm saying? And we all think we killing for a reason, but we killing for no reason.
Yeah.
you
So
really need to
that's
direct
that's
that
what's
to
going
police.
on.
So you need
We
to-
really need to.
We need
But
the gang,
it-
that's the biggest gang out
the
there.
police,
The police.
right?
Yeah,
That's the
but
biggest
we done
damn
we
gang.
done got
know
better
they
though.
killing. We know they
We done
killing
got
people.
better, and a lot of stuff You
Innocent
gotta
people.
understand when they say gang violence or gang shootings, gang word is broad. It don't have to actually be a color or a sign.
I mean, I
It's
know that-
two or more people
group.
involved in a
Yeah,
situation.
Yeah.
So
I know
they
that-
can say it was a gang fight because father and son fighting another father and son. That's a gang
And
fight.
I agree with it. That's
I agree.
That's what they
Because
do.
When he got arrested, and he wanted to do his PTI, the police officer, even though he was in a car with an old drunk man, the police officer told me something. No, I want him to do the PTI because it was. What you
It's
say?
a
You was
gang.
in a gang
He
area.
said I was in the gang area.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm like dropping somebody off though, dropping off an
And
old
then that
man.
what made me mad at all y'all, all the
I
gang
know,
members.
bullshit.
No, it's not the gang members. It's that the gang, when you look up gang in the dictionary, it's so broad. It's not a certain color or certain. They can say anywhere is a drug area. You don't get that.
I was in the joint area for real though.
No, but
Uh-huh.
anywhere can be considered as
But
a
Yeah,
drug
they-
area.
I got what you're saying, but I really was in the drug area.
I'm not saying but that's how it goes though.
Yeah.
They know how to spin the narrative though. And that gets everybody back in the day.
But-
Everybody wasn't against the gangs. They wasn't.
But
Because the
my
gang
mo-
was helping.
But at the same time, man, we be helping them spin the narrative though.
We do help them spin the narrative. Shots. Because I want to drink mine.
I just said my word. I
She
said
said
the word.
word.
Well, we
no.
gotta take the shot.
Y'all
This
gotta
one-
take.
You do.
You do
Yeah.
too.
Me and her, we best.
No,
You
you
talking about
don't
me and her.
Me
What
and you
the hell?
one. What the fuck you got?
Well, I'm one with you and one with her. Shit.
You can't be
Only
one.
one I-
You
only
only can
one that-
have one best friend. That's
Jermaine,
me.
You better choose.
we not about to start this on air because, baby, I love
Make
you
her
dearly.
choose. Make her choose.
Best
on air.
friend, I call you best friend too, but you not my
I'm not your best friend though.
you not my best friend.
No.
Not no more.
You want me to tell you how I know I'm not your best
Glad
friend?
to know.
You know how I know.
Glad to
You know how I'm not your best friend.
Cause you don't show up when I
No.
invite you somewhere.
You know how I'm not your best friend.
Tell him.
Cause you won't tell me everything.
I tell you everything.
No, you
know
don't.
No, you
everything.
don't. You tell her everything. You,
You know
don't tell him
everything.
nothing.
Jermaine, did we not have girl talk the other day? I
Girl
was
talk
like,
is crazy.
I know.
I said, Kayla
I
not
know.
here,
See,
but
that's
I
how
got
you know I
something
ain't
to
her
tell
best
y'all.
friend.
Girl talk is
I
crazy.
Cause she'll know I wouldn't appreciate her saying we having girl talk.
Well, I said, can you stand in for Kayla because she not here? I
Listen.
want to have girl talk. Can you stand in for Kayla? And we had a
No.
conversation.
Girl talk is crazy.
No,
We
I
had a
know.
good
She
conversation.
know I wouldn't even appreciate the girl
I told
talk.
him,
That's how you know I ain't her best
told him too
friend.
much information. Something you tell your best friend, and they let me.
No, listen what
Now
I'm
all of a
saying.
sudden we not best
No,
friends.
listen what
I
I'm
just
saying.
told you something very
That's what I'm
intimate.
saying. We ain't best friend. You Kayla best friend. You only can have one best friend.
And
Yep.
then she mine.
I only got one best friend.
I'm not your best friend.
You my best
You only
friend.
can have one, right?
You
Somebody
have
two.
more than one.
That don't
You
even
trying
make
to
sense.
no? You
Nah,
trying
you
to
better
start something
choose.
right now?
You better
choose
be
right now.
starting something.
have more than
About
one.
to
Choose
be
That
right
don't
now.
make sense.
something.
How can you have more than one best
Because
friend?
you can.
No, you can't.
Kayla, he your best friend. I mean, we sisters at this point.
Okay.
Jermaine trying to be petty.
You only can have one best friend.
Well, Blake said we sisters.
we just sisters.
Y'all,
Jermaine get on my
non-blood
nerves.
sisters.
Yeah. Sisters
Yeah,
from
yeah,
another.
one
What
best
they
Why
friend.
are
say?
you trying
Sisters
to
from
create
another
a divide?
mister.
Like you sitting too close to him. 'Cause
I-
that's his
Hey,
job. That's
nah,
not your
y'all-
job. That's his job.
Look,
We
call-
cousins.
Y'all play
so-
cousins.
call-
No,
so
we
how
not.
many- So, Kayla, how many best friends you got?
You can have more than one best friend.
I said how many you got.
Two.
So you only got two best friends on camera, cause I ain't editing shit.
She ain't got to. She ain't got
You only
to.
got two best
Yes.
friends.
She ain't got
Who is
to.
that?
Yes. They know who they is.
No, who is that?
And like
I
you
know-
said,
I know who they
like
is.
you
Who
said,
is-
we,
who
like you
is-
said, we were saying
who
that,
is
so
that?
they know who they
No,
is.
no, who
And
is that? Is on one of them?
Yes.
You,
I'm asking Kayla. Is on
Oh,
one?
I'm sorry.
sister, best
I tell
friend,
you
another
that-
best friend.
Oh,
you
now
saying-
you ain't.
now she ain't her best friend.
She was the best friend. Now
Now
she
she ain't
Now
her
she's
best friend.
sister. We blood.
Yeah,
And we
like I
blood.
thought.
My mama
Throw
used
it
to,
up,
my mama
throw
used
it
to
up
get
then.
around.
She
Throw it
said
up.
she a blood now.
She a
Damn.
blood now.
I said we blood.
I know.
We
Y'all-
bloods.
Not like that. I don't
This
do
has
it all
just been
that
the
big
Black
gang
Kickback,
stuff.
kicking back, showing you how we like to kick back. Conversations get started, and
I'm
some
trying to tell you.
we don't always.
She trying to
agree.
lie about who her best friends is,
Ain't
but it's
nobody
like
lying.
Ain't nobody lying.
She
We
scared
ain't
to
got
tell
to
the
lie.
truth
now
about
she
it.
got.
Ain't nobody
Now she ain't her
lying.
best friend
Nah,
no more.
tell
She
the
a
truth
sister.
is lying. Not tell
You
the
ain't
truth
got
is
to lie,
lying.
Craig. Because ain't nobody
Not
lying.
tell the truth is lying.
Ain't nobody
Yeah.
lying. Ain't nobody not telling the truth.
I just want them to know who your best friends is.
Like,
Who you
ain't
put
Who your
on
best
nobody
camera.
friends is?
lying. Ain't
Say it on
nobody
air
not
so he
telling
Who your
the
best friends
Say it
is?
on air so he know. Jermaine. What's the middle name?
It's Jermaine.
Your best friend said
Jermaine.
it on air.
Let him
Your best
tell it.
friend say
Jermaine.
tell it on
It's
air.
Jermaine.
Huh?
Jermaine is his middle name.
Oh, okay. I know your first name. Okay, Jermaine.
Your best friend said say it on air.
Please say Jermaine. Your best
Jermaine
friend.
Harrison.
Jermaine. You
Best
too many
friend.
letters in there. Jermaine.
Jermaine.
It's Jermaine.
Jermaine.
With a
He
ER.
say Jermaine.
With a R.
Dur.
With a ER.
Or the hard
He
R.
say
Jermaine.
Jermaine.
I
It's
said
Jermaine,
Jermaine.
capital J, Maine.
Who your
It's
best
Jer.
friend is?
I said Jermaine Harrison.
Jermaine.
And who
I
else?
Who
just
else?
said it. I
Who
just
else?
said
Who
it.
else?
You trying
Jermaine Harrison.
That's
Who
it?
else?
You trying to
Yeah,
be petty.
that's it.
Oh, so I'm y'all's best friend.
That's it.
So the
I
other,
respect
so
that.
y'all other people, y'all don't
Yeah,
even supposed to
she
really
is not
exist.
your
You my
friend.
best friend too.
Right.
So we is one. Best
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, already.
Best friend. Yes. Thank you for joining us.
It's crazy when people don't want to say their best friend is.
He-
But hey, go ahead, finish
Yeah,
out.
he
Jermaine ain't even got no
We
friends,
ain't
so
even
ain't
say
nobody
with the
paying
black
him
So
no
why you
attention.
say you ain't got no friend?
We
Look,
ain't
They ain't got
look,
no
we go
friends,
before
so
we
they
leave out
don't
this
even listen to
station.
him.
Damn, I said station, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Before we leave off,
Leave the station.
I ain't gonna say I ain't got no best friend.
Oh no, that's what he
He ain't
been
got
saying.
no friends.
I've been saying that until I realized a lot of people look at me like they best friend. I never knew what a friend really. My
I got one best friend.
My best friend was Lewis, growing up, and my boy David. We went to high school. David Nelson, Lewis
Ooh.
Sullivan, and David Nelson.
Oh, tell
But-
your best friends. Let's everybody do that.
My
Tell their
Preston
best-
And my
Johnson.
boy Fred. Damn, I gotta let him.
I don't know his last
Is it
name.
Sullivan or Lewis?
How you gonna know your best friend last
Cause
name?
man, he passed away and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
kind of slipped. Know what I'm saying?
Fred
But my
died
boy Fred,
some years
he the
ago.
one turned me on to
He
No
had
Limit.
cancer?
No, he had liver disease.
Yeah, living. Yeah.
Yeah.
Preston's your only
Um,
best friend. Who was your best friend before
Yeah.
Preston?
Nobody.
Who's the
We've been
young
best
man
friends
that
since I
got?
was 16.
Who's the young
15.
man that you saw got?
Huh?
Back in Baltimore. Wasn't that
I
okay?
ain't never had no best friend in Baltimore.
Okay.
I
carry
was
on.
cool with a lot of people, but President was
Jermaine
my.
don't.
He been my
Jermaine, as
best friend.
Jermaine has said in the previous episode, he do not have any friends.
That's all
It
he
ain't,
holler.
it ain't that I ain't have it. It's that I ain't
No,
know,
try to clean it
I
up
ain't
now
know
'cause
what
it's on record.
I ain't know what friend was considered till people started saying, but you my
So-
friend. So let me
So what's friend?
before we end this, I was in the shop one day and my boy Nick,
You ain't
I
gotta say
forgot his
last name,
new
just say
last
Nick.
name. I'm
Nick.
gonna say his
He
name.
got a new last name.
Yeah, he
It's crazy.
changed his
Just
name
like
because he got
you.
married.
Oh,
But anyway, my
he
boy
got
Nick,
married and changed his
yeah, he
name.
changed his name.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
To the lady name?
Yeah, he a real one.
So
So
he's not a real one. That's
he
not
changed
real.
his name to the lady name?
he was a real one.
That ain't
So-
no
He
real.
changed
No,
his name
Hey,
to
look.
hey, hey.
That's
So
not what he
anyway,
did,
we'll
though.
take
Not
the name
promoting that.
back to his original name.
Oh, okay.
So-
So you about to have
He
people
didn't
think.
change it to
Oh,
him.
I'm about to say we're not
So-
promoting
That's a whole
that. Don't
different
do that.
story.
But I had called
There's
him
nothing wrong
my
with it.
so I had called him my
ain't
homeboy.
nothing.
I think you called. I said I'm here with my homeboy Nick. Somebody called my son here with my homeboy Nick, and he got mad at me. He said, "But ain't your homeboy your friend?"
Oh,
And I was like, "Damn, I ain't never had nobody say that shit to
oh,
me."
that was sweet.
I said,
Shout
"You
out
really
to
look at
Nick.
me like a friend." But like I
Yeah.
say,
Shout
a
out to
best
Nick.
friend to me is
Hey.
somebody I can goddamn depend on to go to my house and I ain't got to worry about him. But at the end of the day, if you feel like you're my best friend, I'm your best friend too.
My best friend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. My best friend, Preston Johnson.
What up?
When I was in prison, I ain't never had to ask him for shit.
Oh,
You
Lord.
know what I'm saying? It's like we was in sync. I call him like, bro, I just sent you $100. I just sent you $75.
He's your best friend because
no
you didn't
reason.
have to ask him for nothing in prison.
Now it wasn't about money. It was about us being in sync. Him thinking about me when I'm thinking about him.
Like
see
what
what
I
I'm
asked
saying?
earlier, yeah.
He
Motherfucker called
was
to check on
already
you and
thinking
type of
about me
shit. Yeah.
already.
Yes,
And I call him like, what's up, bro? Like, he like, bro, I just sent you, and he really just sent me some money.
I think we need to have
So I'm like,
episode
damn.
on male friendships.
Yeah,
We
so
do.
I'm like, this my brother for. But even when I was going to Southside, right, I get suspended from school. He was like, he'd stay in Belmead. He like, bro, you know them boys don't like you, but I tell him I'm coming to your house. So I got to walk through the district to get to his house from Southside. He like, nah, I'm gonna meet you, cause he gonna fight with me. That meant a lot to me, cause he gonna be like, all right, bro. You feel me? And let me
Let's-
walk through his house. Whatever happened, happened. Yeah,
Hey,
I ain't got nothing to do
I'm,
with it.
I'm
'Cause
sorry.
then
I'm sorry. Let me say
That's my
something.
best friend.
Let me say
He
something.
is.
Let me say something like my boy Fred, right?
I
My
gotta
boy,
tell you something.
my boy
Just remind me, I
Fred.
gotta tell you
Look, my
something.
boy Fred used to steal, right? That's my boy. That's my boy. I ain't gonna
He
lie.
used to
Fuck
steal.
it. He ain't never steal from me. At least I that I know of. But
Shout out to
anyway,
Fred.
my boy Fred used to steal. Every time he used to steal, he used to come to
Yeah,
my
see,
house.
give you
And
something.
he be like, man, you want this?
Oh.
And
Yeah,
I used to
man.
be like, damn, you still. I'm talking about, man, like I had the type of parent when they buy you the console, like a game, you getting the game that come with the
The
console.
demo that come with
Yeah,
it.
he used to steal me games so I can play. So that's why my best friend, cause he thought about me. You know what I'm saying?
I just called my homeboy like, yo, I just got suspended from school. He already skipping. He ain't going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got suspended from school, but I'm gonna come to your house because you close. You're like, all right, I'm gonna meet you because you know them boys don't like you, but hey, they gonna try to jump you. He ain't have to do that. You feel me?
Why
so
did you go
that's
to
what made me like.
why did you go to
I was
Southside?
on Anderson. I lived on Anderson Road.
They went to Southside?
Yeah.
One part went to Southside, across the
I
street
didn't
went
know
to
I went to
Carolina.
Carolina. I stayed in West Green.
Yeah. So West
I
Greenville
never-
had like Carolina, Berea, and Greenville High. So it's like
Never knew that.
It's crazy.
And Green.
Yeah,
Oh, you said
on
Green.
Anderson Road, I stayed across the street from the BP and the AutoZone. It's not a BP no more, but across the street from the BP is Southside.
Oh,
You go where the BP at is Carolina.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I went to Hughes and all that shit because
we appreciate
Anderson
y'all
Road.
You said appreciate
for joining them. Always checking in on us. As always, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, tell an auntie to tell an auntie. All right.
Thanks.
Check out the Black Kickback.
Yeah.
Stay
Y'all
tuned.
better.
We do have some giveaways coming up. But it'll be on our page and all the details there. Again, thank you for joining us. And the Black stands for
better love, authenticity, culture, and knowledge.
Damn.
Hey, you thought I was gonna mess up, but
Word.
all good.
Hey, what?
Hey, no, I'm fucking with him.
I like.
They play too much. See y'all later.
All right.
He thought I was gonna mess up, though. That's why I did it.
He always.